All right, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's go. All right, so we got episode 3, even though that's just like what 2 weeks late already.
2 weeks
That's
late, we
bad.
had a bump of production.
Yeah,
Schedules got conflicted.
Yeah, schedules got conflicted, and then we kind of
By conflicted, I mean I'm just always fucking busy.
yeah, that's what conflicted means.
No, yeah, you were always free. I was just always busy.
Yeah, and then but basically that's not what matters right now. We have a new episode right now, so let's just be happy about that. And to start off this episode, well, let's talk about FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. First off, it started as an indie game back in 2012, 13, 14?
I want to say 2012, but I know it got. I want to say I can't decide if it was 2014 or 2012.
But that was when it got popular.
I'll look it up right now.
All right. That was when it started getting popular. That was when content creators started getting popular. There's a bunch of things started happening around that time. And then the second one follows up. 2014.
2014, it blew up in 2014 as well.
Everything blew up in 2014, dog. There was John Wick, The Kingsman. There was the Transformers
I think
movie.
That actually might be my favorite movie of 2012.
What?
Not 2014. The Kingsman.
I like The Kingsman.
I don't remember which movies came out in 2014.
2014 was Kingsman, was John Wick.
Oh yeah.
I know there was a good number of movies too. There was the Ninja Turtles. There was the
Transformers.
Transformers.
That was a fun movie. It wasn't good, but it was a fun movie.
I liked it myself.
I liked it, but it just wasn't a good movie.
The sequel
Absolute
wasn't good.
Shit.
I'm trying to remember what else happened in 2014. Enemy and Prisoners came out by Denis Villeneuve.
I had never seen this.
Prisoners?
I don't think
the one with Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Paul Dano gets beat the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
What else was there? I'm trying to remember what other movies were around in 2014. Interstellar. How could I forget that?
Yeah, you just watched it last night.
Yeah, Interstellar was amazing.
Like I said, another example of not a bad movie. It's not what I'm into. I think if I was into space shit, it would probably be a really great movie in my opinion. I don't think it's bad. It's not for me.
Okay, I know you don't.
That's a lot of Christopher Nolan movies for me. Like Tenet, on paper sounded amazing, but watching it, I just felt really confused and I wouldn't watch it again. But Tenet's bigger than Interstellar.
According to most people, Interstellar is probably his most popular movie.
I would say so, because whenever I think of Christopher Nolan, I don't think of Batman anymore. I think of that space movie you did.
Yeah, Interstellar was really good though. It was that one thing that was.
Bad, it's not for me.
It was that one thing that was inspired by 2001, and 2001 was also a very good movie by Stanley Kubrick.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what cracks me up so much? You know what the budget was? It was $10 million.
No, the government backed that movie.
And around that time, which was 1968, that was the highest budget movie of all time. $10 million.
Keep going. I'm gonna microwave this.
10 fucking million. How the fuck does a movie? Okay, that's what they used to cost, and now today they're like what 100 million? That's what Nolan's asking.
Multiply it by 2.
No. Nolan's new movie Oppenheimer. He requested 100 million for the budget.
That's actually the one I'm interested in seeing.
And then here's the thing too. Denis Villeneuve's Dune movie. Believe it or not, the budget was only 165 million. The same amount as Interstellar. And dude, Dune was good. But anyways, I'm gonna make a standalone video on this for that because there's so much I want to talk about for that movie.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, 10 million, and then compared to 100 million today, that's crazy. And here's the thing too: A Clockwork Orange followed up after 2001: A Space Odyssey, and the movie was only around $1 million. That was the budget. And it was mostly because the dude was trying to prove to everyone that he could make a good movie without having a crazy-ass budget.
Well, yeah.
And then, if I'm not wrong, he only spent $10,000 on the rights for Singing in the Rain. And then, what cracks me up, too, is that he died 666 days before 2001.
Damn.
Yeah, fucking funny. It's really funny, but it's also a strange coincidence.
Yeah.
But, right, back to this... Retracing this whole thing back, which was movies, to 2014 to Five Nights at Freddy's. Yep. To this day, it's still a very good, it holds up really good. It holds up in the books. It holds up in the comics and stuff. And even apps. It's you have to play every last one of these if you really want to extend the lore and learn a lot more about what goes on behind, just a friendly looking Chuck E. Cheese or Carnival or whatever it ends up being.
The only thing, I know this is not a very bad thing, but FNAF is one of those games where a shit ton of clones get spawned that are actually really good, and then like that new what's it fucking called? Playtime. I forgot what that. There's some Carson did a video on it. I can't remember the name of it. I'm making a really bad example here, but not remember the name. I want to think it's a FNAF clone, but I can say it just because it's a robot animal in a facility and you're a night guard or something like that.
Oh, Poppy's Play.
Poppy's Playtime. There we
Oh
go.
yeah,
Why do I think it was Playtime with Poppy? Poppy's Playtime, same thing. But like Five Nights at Candy's, Five Nights at whoever. Insert name here. All these games came off it, and like Five Nights at Candy's is good. That's not mine. I was never good at it.
Well, I mean, it comes to this, you know. It's like PUBG, it's like Doom and Wolfenstein.
PUBG was bare bones for every single battle royale out there.
That's the thing. Most of these games, what make them great are that they're blueprints. Some end up being really popular, and some just end up being the blueprints that are popular amongst its own audience. For Doom, it's kind of in between, where it's popular between its own audience, but it's also popular for everybody. You know, but it's also overshadowed by, you know, other FPS games like Battlefield and Call of Duty. While they can be fun, you know, it's not like, you know, Doom and everything. Same with, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's ended up being just like the face of horror games, you know?
Yeah, like not I want to say indie horror games, but horror games in general, for being a shitty, I want to say possibly even 2D. I don't even know if FNAF is 3D. I don't know if it's 3D. I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Doom or the Build Engine games or something like that used to trick it with not being full 3D. But a lot of games took pages off of FNAF. In some ways, you can't even tell. But like locking you in one spot and having to focus on all these things at once.
Yeah.
A lot of things like that. But then you get games like Outlast, and they're their own brand of horror. Now, Outlast 1 is scary for like 2 hours. That's about it. Because it likes to throw jump scares at you. That's about it.
Yeah.
Outlast 2 was a complete rebrand of the franchise, where there's no more jump scares. It's genuinely shitting the terrifying moments in that game. To the point where I don't like playing Outlast 2 because it's a little freaky sometimes. And I'm not a big horror guy, but like still, there's parts of Outlast 2 I never want to touch again because that game can be scary. But you ever play Alien Isolation?
I think I might have. I don't remember.
I think that took pages from the game Amnesia. I never played Amnesia, so I've only heard about it. But like, you're pretty much defenseless, no weapon at all.
Yeah.
But like a light or something like that. That's pretty much what Alien Isolation is to you, right? There's no weapons at all.
Okay, but like to be quite honest, I don't think I've actually sat through and played a horror game because the only reason I remember FNAF so much is because
everybody covered it in a video.
No, I never watched YouTube like that either. If I ever did watch YouTube, it was just to see people, you know, play Mortal Kombat 9 or Mortal Kombat X. Mm-hmm. That was actually how I discovered FaZe Rug. But anyways, you know, it's you know, it's because around that time I used to, me and this friend of mine used to know how to, like, you know, get that one third party app that would just get you all those games for free, like Minecraft and stuff. And Five Nights at Freddy's was up there too. So I tried the second one and I was like, okay, this seems kind of like fun.
The second one is such a bad introduction to the franchise, not because it's a bad game, because of how fucking hard the game is.
It's difficult, and then it's just,
I think it's still the hardest one next to 4.
Because here's the thing. When you want to introduce someone into a franchise, when you want to introduce someone into a game, you don't want it being overwhelming and you don't want it being complicated.
It's like Doom Eternal, bad introduction for a first-time Doom player. Just because there's just so much shit that they throw at you. Doom Eternal's a good game, great game, but for someone who's never played a Doom title, or even 2016, don't start them with Eternal.
Yeah.
Because it's, even on the easier difficulties, they just throw a lot of shit at you.
Yeah. But, you know, when it, how do you put it? When, like, it comes to, like Mortal Kombat 11 really, or just Mortal Kombat in general, it does such a good job with that because your most popular characters are Scorpion and Sub-Zero. That's why Scorpion's so easy.
That's why they're almost in every trailer, too.
No, it's not that. I mean, obviously, they're in every trailer because they're the face of Mortal Kombat. But what I'm trying to say is that that's why they're so easy to play with because you want...
Scorpion and Sub-Zero, they used to be the only people I play.
They're the only people that are actually easy, but they're also the people who could do the craziest shit, you know? Depending on, you know, how good you are at the game and stuff. You know, like not all fighter games do that. Honestly, it was kind of hard for me to get into Street Fighter because it's not that it's not fun. It's pretty cool. The fifth one's also kind of fun.
I think Street Fighter is its own thing. It's just like it's kind of cool, but
it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun, but here's the thing. It's kind of hard to control just because of the controls. It kind of focuses more on like arcade ones, you know, with all those crazy movements and stuff. And then
unlike Mortal Kombat with the fast-paced action.
And then just today, I spent like at least 3 hours just playing through all the training sessions with the characters on Dragon Ball FighterZ. I'll say it's really fun, and I'll say it's pretty easy for anyone to get into it because I
wouldn't buy it, but I'd play it with you. I had pretty much fun
because most of the inputs are just button mashing. But now, if you really want to get into the combos, you can just go into the main menu. Yeah. Into the training courses and just practice some of the combos that are in there, and it's quite fun, you know. And I was playing as Tien, and Jesus Christ, he really is the coolest character in that game. Besides Beerus and Frieza, that's the British Freezer.
This is coming from someone who's never like fully watched Dragon Ball. I mean, I watched it when it was on, but I wouldn't pay attention to it too much. Or I never read the book, the manga, or anything like that. I generally had fun playing Dragon Ball FighterZ, even though I don't understand what's happening. It kind of itches that sweet spot of like just smash as much shit as you can.
Yeah.
Fighting and environment wise.
Yeah.
The things like Injustice would do too when you knock someone out of the map. Oh, yeah. It scratches that sweet spot. Like, this is kind of fun.
Yeah, like you can like depending on how you finish the game.
That was my first time playing it, and I fucking whooped you in that first match.
Yeah, like depending on how it goes in the game. You could knock someone out of the map, or you could just destroy the map, and it's literally just known as a destructive finish, and it's fucking funny and crazy as hell, too. And, you know...
Didn't I get a destructive finish on you?
And, you know, I think you did. Because I was telling you how to do it. But, right. The one thing that I love so much about Dragon Ball is that, you know... Well, actually, it's... How do you put it? I saw... There's a YouTube channel that I watched for some time that would just kind of focus itself on manga. Let me see if I can just find it here quickly. But I actually like the only reason I discovered them was because I saw them reading and doing a review on Dragon Ball. And the thing that really stood out to me the most, what's his name? Captain Ryan. Yeah. Was that he's never watched Dragon Ball. While despite knowing a few things on Dragon Ball, he's never watched the series. And while if you do try to look for a review of someone who's read the manga, usually they just kind of get nostalgic about it because Dragon Ball was mostly popular not just through the manga. I mean, it was popular enough, but once it came into, you know, being a series, it just became extremely mainstream. And like now, you know, most people who try to do reviews on it just get nostalgic about it. And I think that's the big problem with franchises and stuff, you know, like when you want to, you know, talk about Star Wars, you know, there's, you know, like the sequel trilogy, it would be an interesting thing to hear about, but the thing is, most people who kind of do review it kind of do get nostalgic about it, and it's really difficult wanting to make a review on a movie like that, having the knowledge included of, you know, the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy and stuff like that.
Prequel trilogy, best trilogy.
Yeah, you see, like that, you know, you come into a review.
I'm not saying that as a fan, I'm saying as like movies as they're built, I think the prequel trilogy is built better.
You know, like you come into, you know,
but I am a fan.
Like you go into a review like that, you know, thinking what you like about the franchise and not, you know, just the trilogy itself. It's kind of difficult to find a review that does try to keep all that out.
An unbiased review.
Yeah,
I got to find an unbiased review on certain things I like the new Ghostbusters coming out. I got to find an unbiased review because they either saw 2016s and they thought it was like, oh, this is going to be awful. It's going to be like another reboot of that. Mm-hmm. Or they never seen 2016s and they're praising it because they're going to think, oh, it's going to be just like the original.
Because here's the thing. I'd actually like to bring this up a little bit.
Yeah.
About reboots and remakes. Actually, I think it's reboots. Yeah. A reboot is just something that kind of goes on with the sequel, but is its own thing.
Like
a remake,
trilogy in Star Wars is a reboot.
A remake is when it just leaves and becomes its own thing.
That would be Resident Evil 2 remake, and not the one that came out.
Yeah.
It doesn't redo the entire game, but it remakes it in its own way.
Yeah. You know, and, you know, when it comes to reboots, it's really, it's kind of, I don't want to say disappointing, but it's pretty like, it's a really common thing for characters of whatever franchise it is to just still make an appearance like they're carrying the entire thing on their back. You know, like you see
Han Solo.
You see, some of the original Ghostbusters in the 2016 version just appear there. They're not Ghostbusters, but they're still there.
They're just civilians or something.
Yeah, they're just making their own appearances.
Or hell, fucking what's his name in the ending of the Ghostbusters trailer that just came out?
Yeah,
Bill Murray. There we
Bill
go.
Murray. It's like they have to make up an appearance for some people to go
Just
into
to
it.
reel them in, if you will.
Yeah, but it's still if you go to watch it, you're gonna watch it. It's
I believe that it's called nostalgia baiting, if I'm not wrong.
it's basically nostalgia baiting. Yeah,
because you're like, oh look, this character from when you were kids. Remember him? He's back.
Yeah, and when we want to talk about franchises, it's also not just that, but it's the fact that if someone gets famous through that franchise, or if someone is now a part of that franchise, you can't unsee them when they want to do something outside of that.
Like like any movie that Harrison Ford's in, I see him as Han Solo or Indiana Jones.
Yeah, like
I saw Han Solo as Indiana Jones.
Like you want to watch Blade Runner, you can't unsee Han Solo or Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
You want to watch the new Uncharted movie with Tom Holland or Devil All the Time?
You're gonna see Spider-Man.
You're gonna see Spider-Man. You're gonna.
I mean, I'm gonna say that's the only thing I've ever seen Tom Holland as, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Or that's exactly what I mean. That was what got him famous. For Robert Downey Jr., he might have already been famous, but what really got him on the line was Iron Man, and now you can't unsee that.
I remember him actually before when I first saw Iron Man. I didn't see him as Iron Man. I saw him as the news interviewer from Natural Born Killers with
Yeah, and before that, he still had really good, performances and stuff like Punch Drunk Love with I think that was it. I know for sure he was in Zodiac, David Fincher's Zodiac. Either way, David Fincher has always had a good film. There's Seven, there's Fight Club, there's The Zodiac, there's Social Network. If I'm not wrong, he directed Aliens 3.
That was such a shit movie.
Yeah. He has, the new Netflix original series Mindhunter, which is really, really good for most people. A lot of people like it, which is based off the book written by John Douglas and I can't remember the other name. But, it just becomes a point where, you can't unsee them,
Yeah.
And it's almost to that point too, like when you want to do a reboot of this franchise, you bring them in.
The only character I don't see that the only actor I don't see that with is DiCaprio. Whenever I see DiCaprio movie, I don't really see him as anybody but DiCaprio.
Exactly. That's because
with like the one exception is like I might get a reminder of Wolf of Wall Street, but I remember like that's completely different. He's not coked out of his mind.
That there is what happens when you don't have a franchise in your career. That's what happens when you don't have when your career doesn't have a franchise in it. You see Tom Cruise. You see him as the guy who's just Tom Cruise at literally everything. He wants to do his own stunts. He doesn't give a shit. He wants to jump off a helicopter. He's like Cliff Booth, basically. Or Cliff Booth is Tom Cruise. What the hell am I saying?
Cliff Booth with an identity crisis.
You see, it's just, it just goes to that point, And, when you see some of these other actors kind of step into, like, franchises like Marvel, like Jake Gyllenhaal, I was pretty glad to see that he was Mysterio only once. Because, imagine him being in the franchise, and that's probably the one thing that's, that people are going to see him as. You see Ryan Reynolds as Ryan Reynolds or Wade Wilson, But, right, it's how do you put it? It's just that one thing that really just takes a toll on your career. Maybe not in a bad way, but, still, that's what people see you as. And it just becomes a very, I guess, not disappointing thing, but because it's really cool to be in the franchise and stuff, especially if it's one that you love and it's one that, you grew up or you spent time with and stuff like that. But still, when it takes a big toll on your career like that, sometimes it doesn't even have to be a franchise. Sometimes it could just be a role like that, like Andy Serkis. He can't be unseen as Gollum. Every time someone meets him, they always ask him to do a Gollum impression, and just, it's the downside of, like, just being part of a franchise. They're still cool and all, but, and speaking of franchises, I'd like to kind of rehash that Marvel part right there, because I as much as some of these things may be true, I don't see why people want to make such a big deal about it, which is the director's opinions on it, Like, when you watch a Marvel movie, literally nothing's at risk.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen.
Besides the actors' reputations.
Yeah. or the directors, or like just the movie's reputation itself. You know, you see, or then Ridley Scott just recently had an opinion saying that their screenplays aren't any good, and the only reason why they're good is because of the special effects. He may not be wrong. I mean, it's not that they can't always. It's not that they're not good. I mean, it may be good, but the thing is, like, you sometimes see it being reused.
Oh yeah.
That's what Denis Villeneuve was trying
Hollywood's
to say,
out of ideas.
and that's what Denis. It's not Hollywood itself, but I think it's just Marvel Studios. That's what Denis Villeneuve was.
Hollywood is not the entire thing.
Yeah, and that's what Denis Villeneuve, the director of Dune, was saying about the movies being a copy and paste of each other. And then that's what Scorsese said about it being a bit like a bit of a theme park of cinema.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they had no such thing as disrespect towards them.
It's not a knock towards it. It's just saying these movies aren't supposed to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
It's not fake cinema, but it's the amusement park of cinema. Everybody knows it.
You go there to have
typically
fun.
have fun. Yeah.
You go there to have fun, and
not
that's
here
it.
to get a message or this out of it. It's not going to win awards on best cinematography of the year. You're there for fun. You're here to see Thanos slap the shit out of Robert Downey for an hour.
Yeah, apparently, I don't know if it was Endgame or if it was Infinity War. One of them got nominated for an Oscar. I don't know what it was for.
Probably Infinity War.
But, when it just comes to that, either way, I don't see the big deal about Oscars. I mean, I know what they are, I know that they're a big deal, but still, it's,
You don't see the appeal.
yeah. Or it's, yeah, you see so many people get robbed of Oscars,
You shouldn't have to get an Oscar to feel your validation that you did a good job.
Yeah, there's still people who do the greatest performances. They go unnoticed, but people still recognize them. They still know that one face that says, hey, I know exactly who that is. It's, you know them because they have such a good performance, or you know them because they're such a cool, down-to-earth person like Keanu. Like, has Keanu ever been nominated for an Oscar?
I don't know. I don't watch the Oscars.
I don't think he has. But he was still at the Oscars.
Yeah.
You see like DiCaprio just lose Oscars 5 times in a row to like a bunch of other actors and stuff, and he finally wins one. But still,
DiCaprio don't need an Oscar. We all know he's good in our hearts.
We all know he's good. We see Keanu. We know he's a down to earth person, and either way, he's still a good actor. It's you see Hugh Jackman. I don't think he's ever gotten an Oscar, but that one performance in Prisoners, he was literally robbed from.
Yeah.
There's that performance. There's Toni Collette from Hereditary. That was a crazy and very, very good performance. Literally amongst all of them, including Alex Wolff. And then, let me tell you this too. If I told you that Alex Wolff was in this movie, you'd probably ask yourself, who is that? But if I say the guy who plays as Spencer in Jumanji, you'd be like, oh, him. Or, or then you probably just wouldn't be able to see him in something like that. Because, you discovered him as the kid who has like, I don't know what kind of allergies and has to drink and has asthma, needs his Claritin, and always like dabs his neck with like hand sanitizer and wears a raincoat.
Isn't he Jewish too?
And I think he is. I don't know, but
it matters.
And then there's and if we go back a little bit more, there's just thousands and countless other performances that I'm pretty sure I might not even know of. And then there's also Jack Nicholson's performance in The Shining.
Yeah.
And holy shit, excuse me. And but then there's other things like, but then there's other crazy things that happen in it too. It's not just actors but directors too. I think Quentin's only won one Oscar in his life, but honestly, who cares? I mean, honestly, it's fine. I mean, there's still like I know The Revenant's won a good number of awards because of the director, the actor in it, the best cinematography. I mean, I don't blame it. The cinematography, that was really, really great.
Like I said, another movie where I wasn't too invested in the story, but the camera shots were absolutely gorgeous. The Last Jedi is one of those. You already know how much I fucking hate The Last Jedi. That movie looks amazing, though. They skimped out on performance and really cashed in on views.
But yeah, that's the unfortunate thing too. I kind of hate the fact how it's like when some big franchises start kind of steeping down on the low, that's when they finally bring in some of that good talent, but it's just gone to waste.
So too late or gone to waste.
And that's another thing too. You see
like John Boyega. I haven't seen him in anything else besides Star Wars.
He was in the Pacific Rim.
Oh, I don't remember Pacific Rim. But he's a good actor. But he got absolutely fucking wasted in all three of the movies.
Especially Adam Driver.
Adam Driver's great. I haven't seen him in a lot. I've seen him in A Marriage Story, Star Wars, Logan Lucky, and who was that other fucking one where he was with the guy, the kid from Harry Potter, or Harry Potter from Harry Potter.
With Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think
He was in a movie with him. I can't remember. He was I just had sex and I'm about to eat nachos.
Oh, I've never
seen that clip.
Like that.
I'll show that clip later. But he was in there. He's a good actor, and he's got bitched around for 3 movies.
Exactly, But it cracks me up that Oscar Isaac brings up an opinion on that and says, "I don't think I'll ever do another movie with that unless I'm planning to buy a house."
Do another movie with what?
Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Because it's what a waste.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they still look good.
Always the good talents, and then they're trashing their careers. Try saying that you were in The Last Jedi at an audition. Try selling them at The Last Jedi, and wait to see who cracks up first.
Well, I mean, either way.
I mean, they're not going to.
I mean, despite. I mean, if you're Adam Driver,
Adam Driver going to get the role.
You wouldn't even have to bring that up. You could just say, "I'm Adam
But
Driver."
if you're one of those smaller actors, I don't want to say smaller because I don't know who's who. But let's say I want to say the girl who played Rose Tico in that movie. I have not seen her in anything else. So I'm gonna guess that's her first movie or something. I don't know.
I think
I guarantee if she was a small actor, that was her first movie, and she brought up The Last Jedi, she'd most likely get her role turned down.
Yeah, I mean, either
she
way,
didn't give a bad performance, but her role was absolute shit.
Yeah, but I know. I think that actress was. I think she just doesn't do work like that,
No, like Star Wars.
Or no, just work like in like big franchises or just
like
very
Star Wars,
noticeable shit like that,
DC, Marvel, Star Wars, etc.
But I think because I've seen that actress or I've seen her name in when I was watching that series Monsters at Work.
Huh.
Loki, I ain't gonna lie, that series was actually pretty good. I liked it myself.
Never seen it.
It's pretty fun. It kind of takes place between the ending of Monsters Inc. and the Laugh Floor transition. The series ends right on when they present the Laugh Floor, and there's Mikey getting his reaching his quota on the first day or some shit like that. Yeah, it's that scene where the fucking series ends with. But it comes to the point. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to eat.
I heard. No.
Anyways, it comes to that point, where there's supposed to be a the 19th, which is in 1 week. Fucking Adam Driver's gonna be in House of Gucci.
I was considering watching it, but it's not that it's gonna be bad, but I don't know if I'm gonna be interested.
It's a Ridley Scott movie. Anyways,
like I said, it's just one of those things that I don't.
It's
really
one of the
fucking care about Gucci enough to watch.
It's one of those true crime movies. Actually, it's
not. That's only redeeming factors. That's a true crime movie, and I kind of like some of it.
Well, it's not that. Well, it's not just that, but it's about the assassination of Mauricio Gucci.
Yeah,
who literally was set up by his wife.
Adam Driver's gonna die.
No, he for real. It was him because his wife wanted to have also a part in that, and afterwards the relationship just got very complicated. They ended up getting a divorce. If I'm not wrong, she didn't lead a good life after that either. Afterwards, because she moved out and everything, and then she, if I'm not wrong, she eventually took over the business after his assassination, and I don't think they were caught until sometime after.
Well, it's kind of assumed that she would take part in it.
But yeah, that's
really yoinked up his shit.
Yeah, but she's supposed to be portrayed by Lady Gaga.
That's something weird I had never seen Lady Gaga in a movie.
I mean, I honestly feel like this is a better way for her to actually prove that she can turn in a performance because
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I've never seen her in a movie. Because she's just starting to act. Yeah.
And despite that one movie, A Star Is Born, for winning an Oscar, people say she shouldn't have really won that, or that wouldn't have been fair because she kind of. No, because she, the person, the character she portrayed as was almost like her. Yeah. So she could just be herself. And, so I feel like this is just a bit more of a redeeming kind of factor. And but apparently Mauricio's wife actually is not, so keen on Lady Gaga portraying her. I don't know why, but she's not keen on it whatsoever. But still, you know,
Maybe she don't look like her or something. I don't know.
No, she looks
I
a
don't know,
lot
I
like
don't know.
her.
I don't know who they both are. I don't know anything about Gucci.
Well, she looks a lot like her.
I'm supported by Gucci.
No, I only
I
know.
never even like the Gucci stuff. Like what I see in the stores, like this doesn't look too good. Same with Supreme.
Yeah, you know, they're not that good. The quality's not always that good either.
So I don't see the appeal behind Supreme and Gucci.
I don't see behind Supreme, but Gucci,
Like I can see some of the things, but
like
like
they have some cool sweaters and stuff every now and
yeah,
then.
like that.
But
Like those-
Versace, I love Versace has like this Greek Medusa kind of design. If I'm not wrong, Netflix has the FX True Crime series, The Assassination of Gianni Versace, which was also something I'd watched for a little bit when it first came out, but I never finished it, and I never got around to finishing it either. But it's also supposed to lead up to his own assassination. What is it with fucking designers getting assassinated?
their wives or someone else in power wants their power, so they're gonna kill them, and take over.
No, but Versace was gay.
Husband.
No, it was. I think it was someone he was dating. I don't think he was ever married.
I don't know anything about Versace or Gucci.
But yeah, it just comes to that kind of point, you know.
Yeah.
And but still, you know, I'm genuinely just excited for it, just because you know it's Adam Driver. There's gonna be a lot of good actors in it. They have Al fucking Pacino. in this movie.
Traitor.
They have Al Pacino in this movie.
Al Pacino.
You know, and let's not forget about that. Like he's had very good numerous performances. Like
Al Pacino.
yes,
Heat. Scarface, best one.
Scarface. You know, there's Mark.
Cockroaches.
Actually, let's put this out there right now. The one franchise that he really got famous through, or that actually put him on the map, and actually, you know, was a very, very good way to start off his career, was The Godfather.
The Godfather.
Because he started off with The Godfather, then it was Dog Day Afternoon, and then there was Godfather Part 2, and then I'm trying to remember what other movies he did. I know he did more. He did a good number of movies in his first 5 years of his career, and they were really good. They were the good kinds of movies.
Yeah.
And it's not like it was only good because it was the movie itself. No, it was good because Pacino himself is one of those reasons on why the movie's good.
Pacino's a good actor.
Pacino's-
He's one of those things where like he's there's a very few actors where I'll see the movie, I don't know what it is, but as soon as I see their name on it, I'm like, I'm gonna go see this.
Yeah, you
He's
know,
one of them.
like Scent of a Woman. That was the movie that got him an Oscar. He had to play this guy that was going blind. So for some time as well, he had to practice how to look off into
Don't
like
breathe.
he had to look out into the space. He had to practice just looking out into the space, so he could portray a blind person. Because you know, blind people just don't look at.
They
like,
can't look at you. I mean, they might. I mean, I'm not sure.
They could it's like they just stare off in space. So you know, despite that, you know, he's like, dude, he looked really good for 53 around that time too.
Yeah.
And then Jodie Foster was the one who presented that award. Dude, I ain't gonna lie, she's beautiful. Or,
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Jodie Foster's the detective from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah, her.
She was also the kid from Taxi Driver. What was her name? Iris?
Huh.
Yeah, that was also her, but she was 12 around that time.
Hey yo.
And then, funny enough, that's one of those movies where where two of the main actors end up winning an award for. Cuz I know that Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins, you missed like one of those orbs, like one of the secrets.
Yeah, I didn't have anything. I
Anyways.
just didn't think about it.
Anyways,
Oh yeah, I'm playing
great.
Doom right
Yeah,
now.
this motherfucker's playing Doom too. Anyways,
Hey, use that for footage in the video if you want.
that's fine. Anyways, but yeah, there's the Dallas Buyers Club that has what McConaughey and Leto with the Oscar wins. I don't know,
Fucking beefy motherfucker.
but yeah, dude, like Scarface. I would love to talk about that at the moment because most people know this or should know this, and it's that Pacino's most favorite portrayal of all time is Scarface, and that's because he wrote it. It's because he wrote it himself along with Martin Bregman.
Well, he took inspiration from the original,
no,
but
no.
then wrote it himself.
Well, no, it's one thing to take inspiration from something, and then it's something to actually write it and tailor
Yeah.
it for yourself because not everyone can play the character they want. You see, you know how
He wrote it himself and like, I'm fucking Tony.
yeah, it's not like just like I like this movie. No, he wanted to be not Tony Montana, but Tony Camonte. And trust me, that movie was really good. Despite it being an hour and a half, I still think that's a pretty good runtime for like a movie like that. But then the new one, or no, like the one that comes out with Pacino, directed by Brian De Palma, That's almost pushing 3 hours.
Yeah.
Same with Wolf of Wall Street, which is another good performance by DiCaprio. He was nominated for that one that year, but that was when Dallas Buyers Club won. And oh yeah, fucking Jonah Hill was also nominated for that. That was the only time.
Madden.
That was the only time in his life he's ever been nominated. Just like Tom Hardy.
You know, I feel bad for Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill's an amazing actor.
He's an amazing actor, and he gets a lot of shit just for a role, but mainly his body. People are like, you're funnier when you're fat. And I feel so bad because I'll watch his face drop in that interview. He's like, can we talk about something else? Or
Yeah.
he's like, I'm done with this interview. He gets so much shit, and my favorite quote ever is from him. He's like, I am who I am, and I love who I am, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not the exact quote, but he's talking about he's like, I love who I am, or something like that. No matter who he is, but he, like what he looks like, he loves who he is.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good man right there.
Like the dude seems very, very laid back.
Like, yeah, he's fat, but he's also funny. He's funny and he's an actor.
He's not
a
always
good actor.
fat. You know, you can see
yeah.
him. He could be as
But
fat
I'm talking
as
about like War Dogs.
War Dogs. But
Wolf
I
of
think,
Wall
I think
Street.
usually the shape that he has is kind of like the one that's in 22 Jump Street.
Yeah.
It's like just right there. You're just like
but he gets. I'm saying that he gets a lot of shit for his looks, and you don't deserve it because he's
he's
very like he sounds like a very nice guy.
You know, yeah, he actually is.
Yeah.
And you know, back in 2018, he was built a lot more like I was.
Yeah.
There's like pictures of him just walking down the street like that too. But right, dude.
But it's good on him that he's got that.
But
that thing,
it's
like, I am who I am.
yeah,
I
but
don't
it's
care
really
what I look like
upsetting
anymore.
just seeing these people be overshadowed by it.
Yeah.
You know Christopher Mintz-Plasse?
I don't know.
Okay, let me ask you this: do you know McLovin?
Vaguely, yes. From Superbad.
Exactly.
I'm not good on certain names unless they're big names.
See, that there is Christopher Mintz-Plasse. The only reason why we don't hear that name that much is because Hollywood just gave up on him, and that's because they can't unsee
McLovin.
McLovin. And you know that's your own fault right there because you have a chance for people to unsee that.
Yeah.
You have a chance to give him a role that people.
That's why Robert Downey. I don't think no matter what role he takes, he's never going to be unseen as Tony Stark.
You know, that's like
no matter what, he could switch to DC and do Superman. I'm not saying he should, or like I was saying this reference. He could be doing Superman for 20 more years, and people are still going to see him as Tony Stark.
Exactly. You know, it's just.
That's why I always made the joke. Like if he was going to switch to DC, he'd play Batman.
Yeah.
Except he plays the eccentric billionaire, not like Bruce Wayne does.
Yeah. But you know it's just another example, you know.
But it gets so bad. Okay, same with Samuel Jackson and Marvel. Always gonna be Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Nick Fury's always gonna be Sam L.
Or actually, no.
Because it's funny. In one of the comics, they reached out and said. So they reached out to Sam L. Like, do you mind if we model Nick Fury to look like you? He's like, yeah, but I have to play Nick Fury on screen every time.
Yeah, but that's the thing, you know. That I feel like Sam Jackson is one of those few people where the franchise doesn't end up taking over him.
Yeah.
You know, you still
because now whenever I watch Django Unchained, I see Samuel Jackson. I don't see Nick Fury.
Like
I don't remember his character.
Like here's the thing though. Like here's the thing. I see Sam L. and I only think Sam L. It's like Keanu Reeves. I only think Keanu Reeves.
The Keanu Reeves. But when you think John Wick, you're gonna think Keanu Reeves.
Actually, no. I see. You know, I see Brad. I see Leo. I only see those two.
I think if I had to draw a name to a face for Brad Pitt, I'd probably immediately think his character from Inglourious Basterds. I can't remember the name.
Aldo Rain.
There we go. On 100 Dead Nazis. That's immediately what I think of when I think of Brad Pitt.
That's the Nazi scalps.
That's the scalp. I want 100. I want 100 Nazi scalps. I want my scalps. I'm not getting the quote right.
But no, I think that is. But you know, it's how do you put it? It just gets to that kind of point, you know, and you know, I'm still trying to think of other people who are in franchises that don't exactly like just, you know, take over them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, despite, you know, Mark Hamill is only known as what, Luke Skywalker and the Joker.
I see more Joker in him than I see
Luke.
I
mean, it's one thing to see a face, and it's another thing to think a voice. You know, I feel like that's the only. You know, I feel like voice actors are the only ones where franchises don't get to them, because you know it's their voice you see, it's their voice you hear, and that's the very wondrous thing that I love that you know, Mark Hamill actually mentions about voice acting. You just sit in a room and you disappear, and you know you get to actually take mantles on roles you would never be able to take up on screen. Could you think about Mark Hamill doing a live action Joker? No. But if you were able to hear his voice, or if you see him voice audition, that's a different story right there.
Yeah.
You see these people being able to, like, D. Bradley Baker is just
clone.
The dude just like talks to himself in the studio.
Yeah, because not only is he doing one voice, but he's possibly doing 20 voices. Granted, some of them are the same exact voice, but he's talking to himself, holding conversations. You'd think he's mad if he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, you see, you see Troy Baker. He takes up Francis and Steve Blum. You see these.
I
guys
can never point a name to a face because of how much shit they do.
Yeah,
I mean, when I see Steve Blum, I'm probably gonna think Dempsey, just because he's a consistent character.
No, actually, there's a lot of consistent characters.
And I'm saying though for Steve Blum, but like for me, what I know him as is Dempsey consistently. Yeah. Troy Baker, I can't draw a name to a face because I'm like, oh, he was like every other Ranger in Modern Warfare 2. He's every generic military dude in Call of Duty. Exactly. This, that. He's Joel. He's that.
Yeah.
He's got a very wide range of.
But yeah, that's the difference between just taking up a character in a franchise and then just
It's a fucking X-Wing.
What the fuck? Anyways, but yeah, it's just cool when you actually get to write and your own character. And I'm pretty sure that's the big reason to why, and no other reason whatsoever to why, fucking Al Pacino's favorite performance of all is Tony Montana. He wrote it and tailored it to his own liking.
Yeah.
And I actually like how there's an Analyzing Evil episode on him too.
I haven't watched all of that one. I watched part of it and I put it away for a bit.
But that's just the way it goes. And then just Al Pacino in general is just fucking awesome,
amazing.
Yeah, and I'd actually like to talk about the original Scarface with Paul Muni, despite being a movie in the 30s, 32 to be more specific. Obviously, you can't exactly see someone get punched in the face. I mean, you could, but the punch obviously looks fake.
Yeah, because they're not gonna punch a real dude in the face on set.
Right. I mean, they never did, and then
it's 20 years after World War I still. Yeah, they're still using black and white.
Yeah, and
they didn't really know how to make movies back then.
But yeah, or actually, they were just starting to make movies with sound.
Yeah, like most of them are still silent film.
Yeah.
So they hadn't really figured out how to make a good movie yet.
But it's still really good.
Yeah, for its,
you see movies like
time,
these, still
it holds up.
There's some movies that still hold up, which are timeless masterpieces, especially like Stanley Kubrick.
The Shining, again. I had to bring that up.
I think it's just all his movies in general.
I understand, like the one I think that outshines, pun intended, is The Shining. I think if you think of Stanley Kubrick, what do you think of for movies? First movie that pops in the head when you think of Stanley Kubrick.
The Clockwork Orange.
Of course, Clockwork Orange.
The Clockwork Orange in 2001, to be more exact.
Like I said, for me, The Shining pops in the head.
Or for most people, it's actually just 2001.
Yeah, but you'd have to seen 2001. I love to have seen 2001, especially nowadays.
But that's just the way it goes, And how do you put it? Jesus Christ, how did we just get to here? And we still haven't even completely. Yeah, we haven't even completely finished the topic.
We have a schedule, but we never follow it. That's not necessarily a bad thing, though. Apparently, people like that.
It's I'd actually like to go back to this 5 Nights at Freddy's topic. It began to grow obviously a lot more, and why would they stop there? But here's the thing: there's the difference between the ones who stop and the ones who keep on going, and the ones who keep on going but do things right. Because there's some who would keep going.
Call of Duty, big example. Gonna keep on going but not doing it right.
Yeah,
the games stopped running along with each other
because the games would be neatly made and everything. It would take, despite them being in production 2 years prior to its release, they would still release yearly. But now they're just being shat out really quickly, and
that's why Vanguard has so many fucking bugs in it.
But here's the thing, though. It wasn't even a few weeks after Cold War's release when they already found out about Vanguard.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. I was like, oh, there's a new World War II title coming up. Okay.
Like, dude, I was like, dude, we just had Cold War. And they already are finding out about this.
I thought when it was heard, that was going to be released soon. But no, good thing they didn't release it.
Oh, thank God, no.
Because, it's bad now, but it would have been worse then.
I mean, honestly, it's...
We'll go back to my opinions on being bad soon.
But, But right, and Five Nights at Freddy's does that really good. They release their books.
Not
they release
yearly, but that's the thing I look at that. While Scott doesn't have ownership of FNAF anymore. He's there, but he's not the one making it anymore. But he's releasing, I think it's him, releasing books pretty frequently to continue story or side story or just give you that FNAF bit.
Actually,
I haven't read all of them. I've read 2 books.
but here's the thing. I feel like it's a lot like Star Wars because there's the main course that you really focus on.
That's in your film. Then you
And
get
then
the
there's-
side books.
But then there's just books and series that you don't necessarily have to watch, but if you really want to
If
know
you
more,
want that extra lore, that not too important to the story, that's what the books are. FNAF,
Yeah.
You can read that for
Yeah.
some more.
they're still
FNAF
good.
lore, side
and,
stuff.
and they're still really good, and they still deliver.
Like Boba Fett don't have much to do with Star Wars at all. It's 4 lines and 6 minutes of dialogue, 6 minutes of screen time. And then in the books, he's everywhere.
He's everything.
He's everything, and he's pretty much everywhere. He's done this, done that. He's died almost every day. He's the leader of the Mandalorians eventually. Fucking, he was so hard to kill. They put a virus in the planet's atmosphere that was specifically killed him, and he still didn't die. Like all this shit. But then you go to FNAF, where I gotta say also to speak of this, the FNAF story took up most of my YouTube watch time. Just watching Pat break shit down.
Oh yeah, and dude, actually no. I'll be honest. I think one of the videos that I did enjoy watching by MatPat is about this one series that is actually quite short. That's called "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared."
I've watched a little bit of the video. I didn't watch all of it.
Despite it being extremely strange, I still like the idea that
That's the
these
reason
people
why I
had-
didn't watch it first. I was like, what the fuck am
It
I
was
looking at?
really strange, but actually, once you actually hear and just see what kind of motives and ideas these two people who developed it had, it was really nice because it kind of it's kind of its own reflection too. Because it's, how do you put it? It's basically, to sum it all up, it's this series that's made by some creator, and not, despite having all the money and resources that he needs, it's not the show he wants it to be.
Yeah.
But around the end of the series, he ends up, making a decision of just being this very terrible, shitty series that, it's not what he expects it to look like. Yeah. But it's what he wants it to be.
Yeah.
And I love how there's actually just things like that. There's things like Saw, it doesn't have the budget you want, but it's still what you want it to be. And here's the thing. I feel like a lot of people worry about what, having this certain amount of money or this certain amount of people or type of people or kinds of people in it that, it won't be known.
Yeah.
It's like content creators doing giveaways for more subs or follows on Twitter and stuff like that,
That shit gotta stop.
I mean, despite it being promising and all, it's still just, don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
Because they're only coming for the giveaway.
yeah,
They're not sticking around because your content's good.
yeah. And the only reason that's keeping me from doing that is because I know that if someone wants to look for this, or if someone feels like someone else should watch this or listen to this,
They'll watch and tell their friends.
they'll watch and tell their friends. It's not always about, being able to bait people or...
Hell, isn't that how I fucking got you to watch C-Day once? I told you to just watch this dude. I
No.
sent you a link to C-Day. I was like, here, watch this.
Actually, I think you might have told me to watch it, but I never did.
shit. Yeah,
Until
never
I
watched
just...
it until I came up to you and I was like, I made you watch that video.
Or we were just laughing about it too, but that's
Yeah.
the thing,
Hell, we were talking about that shit earlier today too.
Dune had its own, fan base.
Mhm.
It had its own, people
Which is
who
currently
like it.
at war with the MCU.
It's not at war with the
I'm gonna make a
MCU
joke
because
about
it did just as good, if not a tiny
No, I'm
bit.
talking about the fans are at war
Oh.
with the MCU fans.
Actually, no, they're not at war with them
I
either.
thought you said they were arguing about.
No,
shit.
the only people, the only thing
post-credit
that,
scene and shit.
actually no, the only thing that it's actually the MCU fans who are mad.
Who are mad? Yeah, I'm like,
It's because Denis Villeneuve, the director, had brought up that he doesn't like how Marvel movies are a copy paste of each other.
which is true.
And then he also mentioned that Dune won't have any post credits. I don't want it to have post credits. He's like, I spent a lot of my time figuring out what the last shot and frame of this movie is going to be, because that's the last thing you're going to remember, and the last thing you're going to be thinking about when you leave the theater.
Not thinking about
and
the
it's-
upcoming project.
yeah, it's important to think that, and he really did succeed with that. Like, if once you watch the movie on your own time,
Yeah.
and the movie ends. Even Charlie, the most critical,
Yeah, I love that.
ends up bringing that up. The ending is good, and he actually brought up a very good point, saying that Dune will not be a good movie if it doesn't have part two, because it does such a good job with closing its chapter. It's not like, okay, this is the end. No. This is like if you just stopped right in the middle and you now have to wait for part two.
Yeah.
Well, that's like a shot shooter.
I remember that
Anyways, and
what the fuck is this?
and
Sorry, I'm playing Fortnite in the background.
Fortnite. Oh
I'm
shit!
gonna call Pepeka cringe for this shit. But as we go on.
But it's how do you put it? It's how do you put it? I don't know how to put it. But it does such a good job with just ending the movie
Giving
because
you a finale.
It gives it. No, it's not a finale.
No, not a finale for the movie. I meant
but it's like like, hey, this isn't the end. That's it. That's all. That's actually, I think.
Hey, we're not done here, but we're not gonna bait you into watching another movie with the sequel credits.
Actually, no, it's not that either. But it's just there really wasn't a sequel confirmed at the moment because Warner Bros. Wanted to see how it was doing.
Yeah.
Despite it having the money to
Well, yeah. Well, if you have the money for it, you're not gonna make a sequel to a movie that didn't succeed.
Actually, they could have made part two. But them being them, they didn't want to risk anything. You can see that, but at the same time, it's Warner Bros. So I mean, I'm not surprised. And now that it did really, really good, they have now confirmed part two. They've confirmed Hans Zimmer's return, which holy shit, very good score.
My man Hans Zimmer,
right next to The Lion King and
you can never tell
Interstellar.
Hans Zimmer did The Lion King.
You can, dude. I don't care what anybody tells me. That one score or that
when
one
Scar drops.
That one track for what is it? To Die For? Yeah.
That one Scar.
That shit was very fucking good. I don't care what anybody tells me. That
yeah,
score,
it's not bad. No,
like it's literally just like the mountains from Interstellar. It's just calm or something, or it's gonna escalate. But when it escalates, it escalates
hard.
It escalates harder than you expected it to, and you're not even upset about it.
You're like, oh shit, that's fucking good.
Yeah, it's really fucking good because I'll be honest, my other favorite track from Interstellar is No Time for Caution. It's the one that plays.
One where Matt Damon blow up.
No, yeah, actually that is the one. Yeah, it is that one. It's called No Time for Caution. It's because Case, the robot, says this is no time for caution, and the reason why he says that is because despite the ship spiraling like crazy and them having to dock on it, the docking station is also slowly going down into orbit. It's orbiting the Earth. Not the Earth. It's orbiting the planet they were visiting, and they were starting to make it past the stratosphere as well. So you could
go into the fucking atmosphere.
So you could there's the potential of crash landing there, and just being done for.
Yeah. Especially
when it's their only source of travel through space. So despite all that, what was I going on about?
Score.
The score, but before that was
where it escalates. You're talking about No Time for Caution.
Yes, and then there was
scene.
Dune. Right, the movie's now confirmed a sequel that's going to be coming out in August. October 2023. But film production has been confirmed by producers for next year on June, which is very good. And right. Honestly, you don't know what's really funny about Dune?
What about it?
The saga only has 6 books, but there is prequels, preludes to the prequels. There's a bunch of other stuff that has been added, but it's not by the writer of the books.
Yeah.
It's by his son, Frank Herbert, and another writer known as Kevin J. Anderson. These were things that were completely unasked for. So that's why some people get very controversial. That's why those books are really controversial.
That's the same as Star Wars, though.
Because...
But different idea of it, but very controversial.
No, because here's the thing. As much as they extend the lore and stuff, Frank Herbert never intended for things like that.
That's what I'm saying.
If certain things weren't there, it's not because it was for a certain reason or because of lore or stuff like that. He just thought he just thought of it that way, and that's why Dune, despite the movie, it was before the movie. It was still like the Lord of the Rings. It was your Lord of the Rings for science fiction. It was that good. It was really good, and it's how do you put it? Um, it's one of those timeless masterpieces. And it's really cool when you know why there isn't any like robots or AI in Dune, and it's because at some point,
robots killed their entire race.
they at a time known as the Butlerian Jihad, they were almost
but yeah,
they were almost enslaved by robots.
that's what I mean. Yeah, not killed, but enslaved.
They were nearly enslaved, so it was a crazy medieval kind of battle against them. You know, but still, the movie is its own awesome political masterpiece as well.
Political.
It does get its political moments that are easy to follow in the first book.
That's another thing right here. I just wish people would get the politics the fuck out of
Actually,
cinema.
no. Here's the thing, though. It's not
no,
I'm
not talking about like politics in that way, but I'm talking like the general term politics of this. Your personal views got to be interjected.
No. When Frank Herbert,
I just wish movies didn't do that. I'm not saying it does that.
No, when Frank Herbert included politics, they weren't actual real world.
I'm talking about I meant like views of like democracy or
no, but that's the thing.
Like that.
He did things like that not to look through its current status, but it's to think about what you should do within the future.
Yeah.
It makes you think about what you really should think about doing in the future and stuff, because it's one of those stories where the hero ends up being the villain. Paul Atreides eventually does become the villain.
Two-Face.
And tracing all of this back, to Five Nights at Freddy's, it does really good.
I like how we got from Five Nights at Freddy's to talking about Dune and politics.
We need to stop trailing away from Five Nights at Freddy's.
I mean, our whole thing is that we have one open-ended topic, and then we draft on it, run it back. That's our whole thing.
But yeah, and then unfortunately, look, politics are politics. It's fine to have your own political opinions, but once someone knows about it, everybody wants to get really upset about it, and that's why Scott Cawthon doesn't have any rights to FNAF anymore.
I think he did the good thing, and he sold his rights. As much sad as it is to see him go, I think he had to, because what was fucked is, okay, so it doesn't matter if you're a Republican, Democrat, Communist, this, that. Well, I'm very much against communism. I'm not gonna fucking dox your house just because you
believe in communism.
I'm gonna sit you down. We're gonna have a debate. We're gonna talk this out, like people. I'm gonna bring up my views on what you have on yours and this, that. You're gonna bring up what you have your views on, and we're gonna talk. But what they did with Scott Cawthon is, if I remember correctly, they found out he was donating to a Republican charity and doxed his house with his wife and kids. His kids. And so, to stop the harassment, he got up and sold his rights to his baby. His one successful franchise. Because I don't know if you know, Scott Cawthon made shit tons of games before FNAF, and none of them ever took off. FNAF was his baby. And that took off the ground, and he had to sell it just to stop the harassment.
That there, too, what he just said. A lot of things before FNAF, that there is what you call consistency and dedication. And that's what this is right now.
None of them were like FNAF. There was like multiple indie games. I want to say maybe 8 of them. But they're all different things. And they all had subtle nods into the FNAF World game that didn't do any good. FNAF World was not really good at all. I think it's not even on the store anymore. But they all have nods to his games in there. Like some of the FNAF animatronics are even nods to his characters. But I wouldn't feel too bad about it if he was like some big mega corporate guy, some like big Call of Duty CEO dude.
Yeah, because
he's got all these corporations and he's got tons of money.
Well, I mean,
he's got money probably, but like that was his one thing he like put work into and his heart into, and it's gone now. Granted, what I like he did though, he sat down with some people. He gave the keys of the kingdom to like multiple people, and he's overseeing the creation of the fan games now. Yeah. He's in the ears of people making the FNAF fan games.
Well, I mean,
so he's still there.
Too. I think the upsetting thing is that, look, you've played his games for a long time.
Hell, what's it now? It's 8 years.
Yeah,
24. Yeah, so 8 years.
No, 7 years actually.
7. It's because he got rid of y'all. He got rid of him last year.
And then it's how do you put it? Have you ever seen a certain political view in games? I mean, or just his games to be more exact. His games.
He lives his politics out of the games.
Exactly.
I remember, because here's the thing. Nobody talks besides the phone guy. He's not even in all of them. But there's no need for politics.
There isn't.
But it's a game about dead kids in suits.
But here's the thing, too. The thing that
the story of like Dune, I want to say Dune and FNAF. I don't want to say go hand in hand because I'm not following the Dune lore. But I want to guess they started off with something small, correct? Did Dune start off with some small idea that's like something that wasn't too big yet, or is it already a big idea that was going to grow to more?
Dune wasn't a big thing until like 6 years after.
No, I'm talking about like when the first Dune came out. Was it like a small idea that was like probably gonna stay small, or something that was planted that could grow more?
I actually don't know because Frank wrote it just because
yeah, there you go, just cause
he was an environmentalist and an ecologist.
Okay, there you go. He wrote it just cause. FNAF. Would you think Scott Cawthon sitting down and making FNAF in 2014 had the idea to grow into this with the storyline following dead kids haunting animatronic suits with soul power, shit like that? You think he had that idea in 2014? He wanted to make an indie Flash game about robots that come and kill you.
Exactly.
So there is no need for story.
But here's the thing, too. The first Dune book kind of focuses on
politics.
It's not exactly on politics, but it focuses a lot more on like your real world situations in a way. But it doesn't also makes you really think about what it is that's going on in the world around you. It's almost like a Stanley Kubrick movie that really makes you take a look around reality and think about it a lot. But still, it's a very awesome, nice, timeless masterpiece. And despite basically it's the first part, at least it's a setup.
Yeah.
In both ways, it's a setup to introduce you to the world of Arrakis, which is this desert, which is this what is it? This dangerous, deadly jewel of a desert. The spice, which is which can enhance your senses and make you live up more than like 10 lifetimes, if I'm not wrong. And also permits space travel and makes you insanely, and also despite people wanting it for that, it will make you insanely rich. It's still very difficult to harvest because of the sandworms, and because of the Fremen, which are the natives of that place. But still, it kind of involves its own politics, but it's not so crazy. It's not so bad. It's but it's just there. It's not about like this whole Republicans and Democrats kind of thing. And no, it's not all that. It's a very good timeless masterpiece, if you ask me. I'm nearly finished with the book itself, and let's trace this back to like when people say they have political views, people tend to hate them just like that.
Yeah.
Because look, I kind of hate that too with social media itself, which is why I don't really do that well. I would not do that well, but like I don't really.
You don't give too much shits about social media.
Yeah, because usually
I know for a fact from your Twitter you don't, because you're not out there doing promotions or anything trying to grow your Twitter.
No, because look, here's the thing. I see something interesting in a movie or some cool movie news, I'll just retweet that. I see someone's opinion.
Yeah, like your entire feed is just movie stuff, social or just media stuff. I don't see much like talkative stuff on there. You're just seeing shit you like and retweeting it, which is not bad. But then you got these people who go out there and just full on politics mode.
But I mean, it's not bad until you really start wanting to argue and be mad just because.
Going out of your way to start an argument. There's a difference between debation and argument. I don't even think I used the right word, debation. Debate and argument.
Mm-hmm.
All right, scenario A, debate. I'm gonna go on Twitter tonight. I'm gonna go look under the nearest generic politician tweet to see what people are saying and engage in a conversation with them to, maybe see both sides of the story. But then there's arguing. I'm gonna go under Donald Trump's tweets tonight. Go look at his supporters and yell at them about how they're wrong, why they're wrong, and then not give any feedback on it. And call them stupid for having a belief.
Exactly.
Trump's got his reasons for what he does, and his supporters have their reasons for supporting him. Maybe they see a vision in him that he can do good for the country or this, that. I'm not going to get into it.
We're not going to get into politics.
They see something in him to support him.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is you want to go and see why they support him, not shit on them because they support him. Go see why they like him.
To be quite honest, I currently have a government glass, which I really hate, just because when things get political, it's really just
it's the firefighter song.
It's not that, but like it's just really kind of
Go
like
outside.
just everyone just going on about this and that and everything, and like we were basically given like a few answers to questions to answer, like if this is constitutional or that's constitutional, and one of them was
laws.
No, or just
outside.
Or it's just like how do you put it? Here's one example. It's like, hey, the Vietnam War is going on, and the kids who go to school don't like the war. They want to protest against it, and they want to wear these they want to wear these black bandanas on their arms that have a peace sign in it, and the school doesn't want any fights or things like that to break out, and so they tell them, hey, you can't wear that or we're suspending you. And apparently it was unconstitutional for them to do that. Some people were like, hey, I don't think they should have gotten suspended for it. One of the girls in my class was like that. And honestly, I feel like just things like those, opinions and stuff, should just stay outside of school. That's that's because here's the thing. Social media is a different story, I feel, because social media is supposed to connect. You're supposed to connect with people. There's certain communities and stuff. And to be quite honest, there's never something that will be right.
Yeah.
There's always going to be that one flaw in it, like presidents. Whether they have the political experience or they can do things right, they're not the coolest person or they're not the best person. Or while someone could have good publicity, they're not good as a president. But right, let's steer the fuck out of this fucking topic. I don't want to keep this up for anything.
We're gonna devolve into fucking nonsensical arguing or something.
But yeah, it's not that either. I'll never argue with anyone, especially over politics. I don't keep up with them for anything. But it's just, let's get out of that. I don't want to discuss politics here because I'm pretty sure the only reason why some people keep all these kinds of things out, or at least not involve real world politics or things that just conflict with your own beliefs and stuff, or the reason why people make video games or movies, and the reason why I like to go over them, or I and my friend like doing these episodes, is to give people what is it? An escape from everything else going on around. You go to school, or you have a bad day here, you have a bad day at work, or or you just you're not having a good day. What do? You read a book, you ride a bike, you listen to music, you put on your headphones, you watch a movie, or you watch YouTube, or you put on some Netflix, or you go and get some food. Whatever it is that you do that to feel better. You do that to just be like some kind of escape. And it's quite nice just to get that own kind of thing where it's just you don't have to worry about anything else for that moment being. And it's quite nice, to be quite honest too. I myself would love to live somewhere quiet. Despite cities being cool, I don't like them. They're so crowded and they're filled with people, and it's not that I hate people. It's not that I'm some kind of like one of those introverted high schoolers and shit like that.
Yeah.
Who just like, I'm such an introvert.
I hate people say that shit. I'm so introverted.
Like, dude,
I don't think you know what fucking introverted means.
Introverted is like a person who just doesn't like talking to people.
Well, that's not the book definition, but it's pretty much just the behavior of them. I would say I don't know what the book definition is. I'm saying that's pretty much if you're going to define an introvert. It's someone who doesn't like social interaction.
It's like people who wear those antisocial club hoodies. Do you even know what antisocial is?
Yeah, you don't like socializing, or you're not a big fan of socializing.
No, that's a disorder.
I'm saying you don't like going out and seeing people.
That's what people think. But that's confused with asocial, which is basically what describes that, and introverts. Because antisocial is a personality. There's just something known as the antisocial personality disorder, which basically just gives you the urge to hurt people.
Yeah, hurt.
That's what psychopaths and sociopaths have.
Psychopaths.
But right. Speaking of psychopaths, let's talk about movie psychopaths. We have Anton Chigurh. We have Patrick Bateman. We have Calvin Candy, who is also a narcissist. Who we have just so many that go over. We have the Jokers. That's right. There's Jack Nicholson. There's Heath Ledger. There's Jared Leto. There's Joaquin Phoenix. Actually, Joaquin's a bit more of like some kind of schizophrenic. No, not even that. I don't know how to describe it. I'd say he actually is just a psychopath. Yeah. But let's talk about the Joker. There was a lot of things that I liked. But at the same time, I feel like it kind of does have a tiny bit of a political reflection in the real world. Actually, I don't think it does. I don't want to I'm going to go with that it doesn't. For two reasons. One, because I'm pretty sure that's not what the writer and director, I forgot his name. what the fuck? I forgot the director's name.
Of what?
I know he did The Hangover
What?
for the Joker.
Oh, Joker.
Tom something.
Oh fuck! I can't
Tom
remember
Phillips.
now. Tom Phillips.
And then there's and I'm pretty sure he didn't intend that. And second, because I don't want to get into politics.
Yeah.
But this movie was still good after. After all, people, despite this being the movie that got Joaquin an Oscar, most people don't consider that his best performance. They think The Master is his best performance. Which really is. It's really good. And I know he has another movie coming out this year too. It's with A24 Productions. They never fail to make a good movie. And it's I think it's called Come On, Come On. I saw the trailer when I was watching The French Dispatch, and it's rated R for one thing: language. That's it.
No blood, no violence. Just language.
Just language. I think it's gonna be like one of those like very laid back.
Speaking of that, real quick, more movies need to be rated R, just so they have the more expression and flexibility to do things. Like, not that it matters if there's gonna be a kill in a movie, I want to see it done right, and some of that you kind of need an R rating for. If I'm gonna see a dude get shot, I want to see a little blood in it.
Actually, here's the thing. I feel like it could work for only a few things. Like if it's a Marvel movie, I could see the Marvel movies don't really. Someone just gets stabbed or something.
Oh, like okay, some of the scenes on Marvel would greatly benefit from an R rating.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fight scene between Iron Man, Bucky, and Cap. Think of that, but R rated. So they're drawing blood at these hits, especially when he's actually beating the absolute shit out of Iron Man. Or when they're fighting like that, when he gets his arm blown off. Granted, there's no blood, this is a metal arm, but like. Some of the other scenes where they're getting shot and shit would have been much more graphic. Like the only blood in that scene was when Cap got shot, and there's a little bit of blood in the snow, and on their faces and shit like that. But like in Shang-Chi, there was no bruises, blood, nothing in that elevator, that bus scene.
I mean, we still haven't even watched the entire movie, so
Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
I had no interest to watch it. I would watch it if I actually had an interest to watch it.
Yeah, the only reason I'm not talking when I started talking about the MCU, I didn't bring up the Eternals or Shang-Chi
because we haven't seen them yet.
I haven't seen it. I do plan to see them though.
The only thing I'd say about Eternals is I just don't seem interested in it. That's like pretty much. I can't argue if it's a good or bad movie because I have not seen it. I have no interest to see it either. If I see it, yeah, I'll talk about it. I'll probably shit on it or praise it. I'm probably gonna end up shitting on it. That's why I don't want to see it.
Well, I mean, you never know until you watch it.
I never know until I watch it, but I just have a very strong feeling I'm not gonna like it. And that prevents me from seeing it at all.
I heard that one of the big things that really just did affect the movie is because it's just not like any other. It's not like the other MCU movies.
Yeah,
it's got this kind of like diversity going on. It's got a diverse cast. It's got it's got its own story too. It's not just some other random run and gun MCU kind of thing. I heard that one of the bad factors in one of the critics' reviews mentioned that the bad factor of the Eternals was too much character building.
Of the Eternals?
Yeah.
Okay, come on, I need to watch it. Hey, come on. Keep going.
I mean, honestly, character building, I don't feel like it should be that bad, but still, But, here's the other thing, too, before we kind of get into that. PG-13 movies, there are some people who still do very great jobs at doing what rated R movies could do.
Ready Player One is a good PG-13 movie.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be for kids. It's just like,
I know. I'm saying for a PG-13 movie.
But here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is that in Dune, it's not rated R, but the Baron is still this very big, fucking menacing character. Like, you don't need him to kill somebody. You don't need him to kill someone. He doesn't kill anybody yet. He only kills one person in the entire movie. And before that, either way, he's a menacing person when you see him.
Hand me my gun. Hand me my wallet.
Like,
the one bad motherfucker.
Like, you see the Joker. He's killed someone, but still, the way he does it, it's really the fact that this character is completely unhinged and unexpected. You don't know what he's going to do. Despite this being a PG-13 movie, and you're scared as shit, or you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Or what the fuck is going to happen? You know, I feel like those kinds of movies do very good job despite it not being rated R. You know, there's I mean, all of Quentin Tarantino's movies are rated R. So are I'm pretty sure Scorsese doesn't have that many rated R movies. If they aren't, it's probably because they're like something like Hugo or I don't know. The Departed was really good by fucking Scorsese though.
Yeah. Oh, The Departed, yeah.
The Departed was really good. You know, there's also The Irishman,
The Irishman.
Goodfellas. You know, it actually you know is quite crazy to see that you know most of what happens in Goodfellas, despite it already being a crazy movie, still doesn't take out a lot from the book. You know, in real life, the person who's supposed to be Tommy DeVito ended up testing a gun by shooting a civilian one time.
In real life?
Yes.
The fuck?
Yeah. He actually shot a civilian to test out a gun and see if it worked.
Oh, it worked.
Yeah. I mean, in the movie, you just see him randomly kill a bunch of people and a kid and all that, or he's just angry with people, just, you know, just saying this or that, or joking around with him. He takes it to just such offense already. But then when you read the book, you just see how crazier he is. Just you know, when you hear that he tested a gun by shooting a civilian or something like that. You know? And, you know, speaking of biopics, just this week they revealed that there's going to be a biopic on Jim Jones, the cult leader, that's going to be starring with Leonardo DiCaprio, which is quite exciting if you ask me.
Yeah.
I mean, when does he ever fail to deliver either way?
Not often.
Yeah, you know?
If ever.
Never, actually. Oh!
Fucking Mario!
Oh, anyways, right.
Oh, bust through this shit. Oh. I didn't mean to do that.
But, you know... Oh, wait, what is it, Siege?
Yeah, you're talking about, DiCaprio.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. Right, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not that big a fan of Siege.
I know you aren't.
It's not that I hate it, it's not that I like it like that either.
I think it's just they're not too good at it, and it sucks having to wait those rounds.
Yeah, like, you get shot.
I said, it's more fun when you get into it. Like I guess I remember I used to absolutely fucking hate Siege. I mentioned how I was never good at it, and I hate whenever Adrian would want to play it. Like when he brought it over to your guys' house, it's like, I don't like Siege. I'm not good at it. And now it's like the only game I ever play. Because I started playing it a lot more, and I got into it, and I got good at it. I was like, oh, this game's fucking fun. Except, fuck ranked. Fuck ranked. That is not fun. That is literally just for sweats. But then I'll play it, and I'll go good.
That's why there's ranked.
I know, yeah. Ranked is good because it keeps the sweats away. At least people who actually want competition. Mm-hmm. But Siege is fun when you get into it. Like, when you learn how the aiming system works, and you can actually hit shit, it's fun. When you learn the recoil of guns, it's fun. It's just got a big learning curve. Mm-hmm. That the fun and learning curve go hand in hand. So once you learn the basic standings of the game, how to do shit, you'll start enjoying it. I mean, yeah, these types of games aren't for everyone, but it's enjoyable when you're playing with friends, at least. Especially if you're on the same team.
Yeah, for me, the popular shooter I play is just Call of Duty.
Yeah, we play Call of Duty a lot.
Or at least I do. I know you don't anymore.
I don't as much as I used to, but I used to do it a lot. I don't do it as much as I used to.
For me, Cold War's been some pretty good fun. At least for zombies it has, just because I'm not just like playing with a gun of my choice. I don't even know what gun I would choose. I'm gonna be honest, if I ever play just a normal run of zombies, or if I feel like fuck it, I want to run zombies, I'm not gonna know what gun to choose, because the most part, the reason why I spent a lot more time playing zombies is because I wanted to start grinding and start leveling up some of the guns to start going for that Dark Aether grind. You know, I've had fun with the SMGs, I've had fun with the pistols, I've had fun with the melee weapons, I've had fun with the special weapons, which is the crossbow. That was really... Dude, the crossbow's a lot of fun in zombies, you know. Once you pack that shit and
it's
get
not not the weapon I'd use, but it's probably a good weapon.
Like, once you pack it and you have the speed cola, it just shoots...
It's just do.
Not like that, but like, yeah, it just shoots that. You're
able to get more crossbows downrange than faster.
And, you know, and then there's I still have yet to do snipers and LMGs and tac rifles. And
Snipers are never fun to use in zombies.
I think
no matter
that's
what
it.
game it is.
I think that's all I'd have to do, and I unlock everything. And to be quite honest, I was pretty. I didn't know what to think about Vanguard because nowadays, when something is going to release, I don't have any initial thoughts or ideas about it because I actually want to get my hands on it. I actually want to, see what's up, see what's going on, and then have an opinion.
Yeah.
So, that's why I didn't speak up on the Eternals. That's why I didn't speak up on Shang-Chi. That's why, I don't speak up on everything either because I don't want to just have some, opinion that's the complete opposite and isn't actually what's going on, But I will be honest, Cold War was fun for me. Modern Warfare was also fun for me because I know there's a stream in my channel where I've spent the entire time just leveling up the Psychop in hardcore. And that shit was hella fucking fun. I wasn't even using the full auto for the entire time either. That's the last thing you unlock.
Yeah.
Just going around shooting people with the pistol is just fucking fun.
Yeah.
And then with, doing customs on Cold War and Modern Warfare, that was also fun. I think for me, I had more of an advantage in Cold War just because I was more used to it and I spent more time on that. For Modern Warfare, I was beginning to actually be able to put up more of a fight because I also started learning a bit more about it. I started playing more with it. I started, learning to snipe in it and everything because sniping is fun.
Yeah.
Especially when you know what you're doing. It's so much fun. I mostly use the Kar 98K, the AX50, and the Mark Carbine 2. That's not what it's called, right?
Mark II Carbine.
The Mark II Carbine. And, same with the snipers in Cold War. I mostly use the Pellington and the Tundra. The Tundra's when you want to get kills. The Pellington is for, when you want to have fun. Or it's the one when you want fast ADS. And then the Swiss K is when you want to have some fun.
Yeah.
Because that's almost like the Kar 98K from
What the fuck is happening?
Modern
What
Warfare.
the fuck?
And what the fuck? These guys are just... This dude's not reloading.
Yeah, what the fuck am I watching? Oh.
Dude, that's on some fucking Call of Duty shit right there.
Yeah,
Like someone's point
Siege.
blank and they want to fucking melee you. Dude, that's fucking
He
disgusting.
really tossed that round because they wouldn't want to reload.
Damn.
Yeah, he could have killed all three of them if he would just stop and fucking reloaded for a second.
Dude panicked. That tends
Because
to
two of
happen.
them didn't have ammo.
That tends to happen.
That tends to happen in Siege. People just stop paying attention, they start panicking.
Dude, I hate playing with people who panic.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's different when you panic when all sides of the room just spontaneously blow up. Then
Yeah.
it's panic time.
Yeah, but right, it's
Go on.
yeah, Call of Duty's been fun for me. Siege has been right there for me. I just need to get more used to it. I've never
Yeah, like I
actually
said,
gone in it.
you'll enjoy it.
I've never gone in it alone. And then
Yeah,
GTA
that's how I
5,
started getting good. I started playing alone. And I found a group of friends who actually are good at the game. Like,
GTA 5, I'm going to be honest, I didn't like it that much, and I kind of, it's, my opinion's slowly being hindered, because
there's just not a lot of shit to do.
there's nothing to
And if
do
you're not
there.
doing missions,
And
you have to
after a while, it gets boring, and the only reason it gets boring is because then it just gets repetitive. It's like the only thing
You have to do the same 3 missions, or the same few missions to get a lot of... If you want to get money, you have to do the same missions over and over, because the other ones don't pay. Or they're just boring, or they're
Actually,
extremely hard.
I wouldn't mind repeating missions, because it'd just be like doing a speed run. And
Yeah, like I wouldn't mind doing this Doomsday heist again.
You should do it.
Yeah, I was saying, as soon as that's done, I'm probably going to start doing it again.
Yeah.
I just have to pay for the... I'm not going to use my money from the heist just to redo the heist. I'm going to do it eventually when I run out of money.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. Granted, I paid for the setups because fuck going into a public lobby and trying to get the heist prep equipment, especially for that heist.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not going to get it.
I was actually-
Because it's so hard to do.
I'd say I was quite lucky to start that whole bunker thing and not get interrupted in the fucking
Yeah.
public lobby.
Especially when you have a bunch of people there. Like, but it was I had a lot. It was one of the missions was absolutely fucking ball breaking, and that was there was a mission where you had one team goes into the morgue to get a body, completely stealth, it can't get detected at all, or like you're not, you fail, but you're pretty much fucked.
Yeah.
And then one of them was I went by myself to clear out a field with bad guys to get a helicopter,
Mhm.
but it's taken 3 shots from a Mark II heavy sniper to kill him. Not headshots, but like upper chest shots to kill him. I don't know why enemies in GTA are so fucking spongy.
Oh yeah, I hate it when the missions are like fucking
Like
5
regular
times.
cops go down in a few shots, but in missions, it takes sometimes a whole mag to kill one
Yeah.
out of an upgraded weapon. It's ridiculous. But I wouldn't mind doing this heist again. They're all fun.
I think the only reason I'd actually be wanting money right now is just to further the research and just to be able to customize more stuff.
Yeah, as you get more, as you level up and get more money, and you're able to get more stuff, the game is much more enjoyable.
But you know,
then again, it's those things where you have to fucking grind or just pay money to have fun. Not me. I just have fun riding around on a motorcycle doing whatever the fuck I want to.
actually,
I'm more satisfied using this motorcycle I have than like than this flying jet bike. I don't even want to get a flying jet bike.
honestly,
I'm not gonna be a
it's
dick.
how do you put it? It's not so that it just gets boring after a while just driving around and just
Doing
shooting
the same
random
thing
civilians
over and
because
over,
what's gonna happen? They're not gonna shoot back at you.
unless you got cops. That's why that's why it's fun when we do our cop shootouts and shit like that.
I mean, that kind of gets boring too because then they just consistently somehow just get a shot on you.
They
Even
consistently
though,
get a few shots on you and you're dead, unless you got like that's we're driving around in our truck or we're doing a mission.
yeah,
Doing a mission with cop shootouts actually challenging because there's stakes to it.
yeah,
If you die twice, you're fucked, and you have to constantly be looking at your armor and your health. That's why I can't wait to do some of these other heists.
yeah. It's just, but you know it. How do you put it? But you know, it's starting to grow on me just because I actually started doing something rather than just the same old
Yeah,
thing.
you were doing gun running missions earlier.
Yeah, and you know,
That's my man right there.
holy shit, what the fuck? If you don't get your,
I got the clown mask on this bitch.
if you don't get your, what is it? Big joke from Cold War having ass. Anyways,
Well, his headgear is better than this one.
but yeah, you know, those games have been kind of fun. If there's any game that I've always had fun with and never had trouble having to get, holy shit. Anyways,
Fuck.
sorry about that. Having to get used to, it's just fighting games in general.
Yeah.
You know, Injustice is still some getting used to for me, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat has never ever in my life been
Not been
difficult for
fun.
me. It's never been not fun. It's never been, you know, tiring or something for me. I mean, it kind of can be a little bit, but once you like, you know, bring that in and compete with a few people, it's fun, you know. And I've gotten to master a very good number of characters in Mortal Kombat 11, like Noob
I
Saibot,
remember you used to be
Sub-Zero.
absolute fucking shit at the game.
You know, I've mastered Noob Saibot, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, the Joker.
I took up the mantle of master there. I used to be much better than you.
I
I'd
can
win every
beat-
match, and then now here you come along.
I can beat
Now
the
I
living
fucking
shit out of people with a fucking RoboCop. Robo fucking Cop, which is like one of the worst characters in the game next to Rambo, because Rambo you need to use literally every last weapon combo in their.
I still have fun with Rambo. I don't
But
care
yeah,
about
you know,
winning
it's
with
still
Rambo.
fun. If you-
The only characters I actually have fun with that I don't care about winning a match is Rambo. Really, Rambo, Scorpion, and Nightwolf. I have fun playing.
Here's the thing for me though, I don't genuinely care about being the
best
top
or
one and
something.
everything, because if you're the
You're
top,
trying to have fun beating the shit out of your friend. In a
it's
match.
not that either. It's just I'm there to have fun, you know.
And when I said beating your friend out, beat the shit out of your friend, I thought of the Clash of Clans video. Why would anyone want to fight their friend?
Oh yeah, he was like, I heard about this new thing called friendly battle. Now who would want to hurt their best friend?
And
like,
Pig
fucking-
has flashbacks.
The biggest flashbacks to
And
getting hit with a
my
hammer.
favorite
and
one
shit.
is the hammer one.
The hammer one in the towel in the country club and shit. And then he's like, you missed a spot right there. And he looks over at the fucking hammer that he
We
has.
need more barbarians.
Someone say hog
Barbarians.
riders. Dude, I ain't gonna lie. Clash of Clans, as much as it's a phone game, that's probably one of the only things I actually play on my phone besides Clash Royale. And I will say this,
I've been getting in more.
they have the best ads of all time. Even though,
I love the Clash ads. I used to see those all the time. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is
like, when
funny.
I first started playing Clash of Clans, I remembered seeing the ads on TV too sometimes. The one that I really remember the most, which I laughed at a lot, was the barbarian screaming like crazy, and he keeps getting hit by cannon until eventually
One
he
just
gets
puts a
fucking
hole
domed
in
with
it.
a fucking mortar, and it's fucking funny as hell.
Yeah, I love that one.
But, it's just, those things are funny, Like, if there's anything else that I like besides game commercials or game TV spots, it's just ads.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I love ads. Like, when I used to have ads on my Hulu account, I'd enjoy seeing the Geico commercials or the fucking State Farm commercials or Allstate or Liberty Mutual.
Bibbidi bibbidi.
Yeah, because you'd see that guy, or you'd see
The Limu.
or no, you'd see what is it? You'd see like the Allstate one. It's like safe driver, save 40. No, there's a dude who's like save 40, safe driver, save 40%.
Yeah, that's me.
Is that yeah? Safe driver, save 40%. And the guy's like safe driver, save 40%. That's safe driver, save 40%. And the dude looks over, and then they're like, oh, that's him. That's safe driver, save 40%. Hi. He's like that's him. And then you hear him finally say it like just for like a part of the ad. Safe driver, save 40%. And and then there's like the Geico ones where it's like, hey, did you know you could save 15% on car insurance when you join Geico? And it's like, oh, that's cool. He's like, so what are you waiting for? This to happen or that to happen? Like there was one of like, what are you waiting for? DJ Khaled to be your personal motivator? He's like, yo, Devin, remember to brush in tiny circles. Shh. Like this. Do another one. Shh. Another one. Like this. Put in that work, Devin.
You smart.
Don't give up.
Boy. Another one.
No, he's like, put in that work, Devin. Don't give up. Or there's the one with like, he's like, so what are you waiting for? John Stamos to knit you a scarf. That was my favorite one. That's funny. I fucking love that ad the most because it has one of those like small actors in Superstore too. But right, he's like all done, Gene. He's like, thank you. He's like, I give. He's like, your knit work is impeccable. And I know he said something specific because it's also like just one of those small running jokes between the people who knit and have knowledge with it. And that. Yeah. And she's like, is your hair this soft? And he goes to caress his. Not to caress, but he goes to run his fingers through his hair. And he's like, softer. Dude, yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I genuinely enjoyed seeing ads for that particular reason.
And then you get the annoying ass ads that you absolutely fucking hate seeing.
Like which ones?
I'm just saying in general. There's ads out there that like you've already seen multiple times, and that like they're genuinely annoying. They're not funny, or they're long, or they're just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Those fucking Mafia City ads. Oh god.
Actually, if there's any kind of game ads that I hate, it's the ones who purposely play the game wrong.
My mom versus my dad.
No, that's what it used to be. But now the new ones are like,
or like only 5% can get this.
It's like, or only you'd be legally smart if you beat this level, or I can't reach pink yet, or there's then like the ones, dude. There's then like the demos that are literally not like the game at all.
Yeah.
Like you play Lords Mobile, it's like some shitty. I don't even know what the hell it is, but it's not what it is like in the ads. Or then there's like the people who purposely play a game wrong.
It's dumb.
It's so infuriating to see. But right. What other? Ow! Fuck my head.
You dumbass.
Hey. Anyways, right. What the fuck is that?
Electric.
Anyways. But right, GTA 5. What can I say about that? Or what can I say about just Rockstar in general?
That they're known for making good games. Not good games, but writing well. I'm talking Red Dead 1, Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2 being the best piece of media I've ever seen written. I think the game is fucking challenging. I'm not talking about the game being the best one ever made, but for, out of just the best well-written game, it's Red Dead 2. I haven't even beat Red Dead 2, and Arthur Morgan's already my favorite Rockstar character. No, John Marston's my favorite Rockstar character. But Arthur Morgan's right up next there. One of the next few ones of my favorite Rockstar characters. Mm-hmm. And then you got games that are just absolutely classic, the trilogy just got released right now.
Oh god.
3 San Andreas, not the trilogy itself being good, but the original ones. 3 San Andreas and Vice City. I'm not a big fan of Vice City, but I know 3 and San Andreas were extremely important to future Rockstar games.
You know why Vice City was actually really popular?
It was popular to people. I just didn't like it.
No, it was actually popular just because it was almost like another Scarface game. Yeah. It was set in Miami. It had to do with drugs. It had all these cool, disco
what fucking Rockstar
stuff.
Games don't have shit to do with drugs now.
Just like that. I really want to genuinely say that Rockstar's reflection is just Fast and Furious. It used to be about just gang attacks. It used to be just about drag racing.
They fell.
It used to be about
fell off. But
anyways, Anyways,
Fucking-
it used to be about stealing cars or just stealing DVD players and shit. And now you're doing like some crazy ass save the world type shit, or you're doing like
like the
crazy
Doomsday
heists
the Doomsday heist.
from buildings and shit. You're hacking and all this crazy shit. I haven't seen Fast 9. or else I would have talked about it. I'll actually let you know how it is because I'm willing to watch these kinds of movies. I don't care if I hear that they're bad. I won't have an opinion on it. I won't ever in my life speak about it until I see it. That's like
I'm not saying the movie's bad. I just don't want to see it.
No, but that's the thing. It's literally its own reflection. And then the 10th one is supposed to be its last one, which I do not know how it will go. But hey, I will tell you this: that thing where they go into space, it was exactly what I thought it was, and it was just to take out some satellite.
Yeah.
That was it. I was like, oh, okay, that's good.
They're not drifting on the moon.
They're not drifting the Land Rovers in Mars
They're not rescuing family from the Martians.
They're not saying family in space. You don't turn your back on the Martians.
You don't turn your back on gravity.
Gravity turns its back on you. How would that happen? It already did. It turns its back on you once you leave Earth.
Yeah, but it's just fuck it, I'm out.
And then when you're on the moon, it just looks over its shoulder, and that's why you're just so light there.
Gives you the cold shoulder.
It's just like,
fuck you, man.
the cold shoulder is space. It's cold as shit there. You'd freeze to death.
Yeah, that's why you're not allowed out of your spacesuit. When you can't breathe until you'd fucking freeze to death.
Exactly. But right,
That's why it's called the cold vacuum of space.
yeah. But dude, honestly, space is really cool, peaceful, strange.
How would you know if it's peaceful? What you ain't been telling us? You been in space?
And also just scary,
Yeah.
It's like you just drift into like nothing. But like, dude, I feel like the reason why it's just peaceful is because it's so quiet.
Apart from the radio guy in your ear.
And just being amongst the stars, it just sounds very peaceful.
Yeah.
I won't lie about that. That's just peaceful. Let me see. I want to play some GTA. I want to shoot up some civilians. I'm just kidding. Okay, but for real though, it's just nice. But yeah, space movies. When do those do good? There's Star Wars. I won't say Dune just yet because it's not like some crazy franchise. I don't even think it will be. I think it's only going to have 2 more movies because I think that's just as much as Denis is willing to go for, which is Dune Part 2 and then Dune Messiah. But some people want to see like some of the other Dune sequels make it into being a movie, which would be cool. But it just depends. What kind of commitment you'd have to make for that.
Yeah.
But it's still nice. Nice. Oh! What the fuck? That motherfucker was just zooming. Man, if you don't get yo.
Man, that shit. But
Whoa. Oh no, never mind. That's that. Oh, whoa. Oh. Right. Anything you want to bring up?
Bring up these nuts.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I like in GTA Online right now. I had that fucking Halloween Jason fit. I wish there were some fucking things I could do to recreate scenes from Friday the 13th, but there's like nothing I can fucking do. But I don't know what to say about GTA Online. GTA Online's just fun for me.
It's alright.
I'm very content driving around and shooting shit.
It's alright
because
for
I'm
the
also
most
a
part.
fucking smooth brain though, so then it doesn't take a lot to keep me entertained. Unless it's a shit game and I don't enjoy playing it.
Damn, you have some really low standards.
No, I'm saying it doesn't take a lot to keep that for me to have fun. I'm saying the games are good. I'm saying if I have fun playing it, I can play it shit for hours. That's why I think I play New Vegas so much. New Vegas isn't the best game,
Well, that's
but
New-
I have a shit ton of fun playing
dude,
it.
it's New Vegas. There's really no way you can say it's fun.
I think New Vegas is fun.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way you can say it's fun because everybody knows that. That's like
I think like in New Vegas, like it's not the best game. It's got some fucking weird mechanics to it, and it's janky as fuck. So it's nowhere near being a great game, but it's fun. I have so much fun playing it, even though it's slow. It's RPG. I still have shit tons of fun playing it.
that's probably how Dune is. Only you're watching someone play it.
Yeah. How long is it gonna take to get up?
That's what I was gonna say.
Actually, wait,
I'm
I
saying.
want to do this. Wait, check this out. Woo! Oh, wait a minute.
You got to jump first. These would go so much better if we had the fucking video for what we were doing.
Yeah. Anyways. But right.
You're very content throwing yourself into the concrete.
But right. Oh yeah, dude, I brought Fallout 4 so I could try it.
Right, I gotta try Fallout 4. Okay, that's what I'm gonna segue into.
Fallout.
Fallout. Oh, I mean, you continue to jump to entertain. You jumping into the fucking concrete.
Dude, it's fucking fun. Watch, I can just jump on the car hood. I'm gonna do it again. Oh, never mind, I missed it. But right, you know.
Okay, Fallout. You're gonna try out Fallout 4. I get hate for saying this, but I think Fallout 4 is one of the best Fallouts they made. Despite it being a downgrade in many ways to even New Vegas and 3, I have a lot of fun doing the simple shit in Fallout 4, i.e., wandering, building, and fighting.
What is IE?
I.e., I forgot what IE means, but it's an as in, if you will. Even though it doesn't, that's what the initials are, but like IE as in like when you're gonna have a list of something like I do like it's like doing something stupid, i.e., running your head into a wall. But that's like I think it's what IE means. This is what I use it for.
I did that when I was an 8th grader. I ran my head into the lockers.
I remember I used to watch you do it. I'd walk up to you in the hallway, you'd do it, I'd lose my shit standing there. I was saying, like I do this. The simple shit kept me entertained for hours. I wander, I fight, I take all my shit back, and I build. You see, I didn't give a shit about the quest line because it was awful. The quests in Fallout 4 and the dialogue systems are fucking garbage.
Dude, you know what?
But I have so much fun playing it.
You know what somebody said?
What?
Somebody was saying that when it came to like Fallout 3 being compared to Fallout New Vegas, I feel like the weirdest, most strangest, and the most unnecessary comparison to it was to masturbating. They said that Fallout New Vegas was the right hand and that Fallout 3 is just the left hand.
I'm sorry, but that's fucking true. That's such a fucking good statement. Fallout 3 is nowhere near a bad game.
But it's just walking.
But it's boring. Dude, do you... okay, so in the first 5 minutes in New Vegas, you've already got yourself some guns and you're killing people. Kind of depending on what you're going to do. If you want to, within the first 5 minutes of the game, you can do that after creating your character. It takes me up to an hour to get all the shit I need to have a simple gunfight in Fallout 3. Fallout 3 slower, has a slower pace. There's more. It's focusing more on the story. That's fine, but you gotta have the game entertaining to do that. I feel bored out of my mind grinding Fallout 3 to get good weapons, ammo, and armor. When in New Vegas, I'm flushed with caps, ammo, and armor the entire game. Not because they give you too much of it. They don't. What the fuck? They don't give you too much of it, but they make it easy to get, and they make it fun to get. I have fun putting my luck at a high number or even a low number and going to the casinos and gambling, getting my money, or shooting up the casino and taking everything. You can go... Here's the thing about New Vegas. You can go and shoot up the casino and take everything from there, but you'll be hated on the strip. You can go in there and win 20,000 caps and get banned. Or you can go in there and do a secret side quest, and now you're friends with the family in there and you're getting constant money.
Actually, there's an idea that kind of surrounds Fallout that I would love to share with you after this.
All right.
Which I feel like could definitely be something. I'm
after the statement or after the podcast?
After the podcast.
All right. But yeah, then you got that, and then Fallout 3. I don't think I've ever had over 10,000 caps in Fallout 3. But in New Vegas, I'm always carrying like 20k, 30k. I'm always rolling deep. I forget that turn on my controller noise.
Somebody was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Someone's gonna be in the background like, "What the fuck?"
Like, "What the fuck? Get the fuck off GTA, you dumbass!"
Yeah, but Fallout 3 is nowhere near a bad game. It's just slow, and I can't say anything about 76, as in I don't have any
experience with it.
I don't have any experience with it, and to be honest, I really want to play 76, but I'm scared to because I don't want to get disappointed and then start hating Fallout again. I used to really hate Fallout before I loved it. I used to think it was really fucking stupid of a game, and I was like, okay, I'll go play Call of Duty or something. But then I played New Vegas, and for the first time I actually played it, instead of just hopping on for 20 minutes and playing. I did a full playthrough of the game, I saw everything there was to see, and I loved it. I had so much fun doing it when I learned everything about Fallout, and now it's one of my top 5 games of all time, and one of my favorite franchises. See, and I don't want to play 76 and then get mad if that's what current Fallout is if it's bad. Granted, the game has changed since the first time I ever looked at it. It's changed so much.
God damn it! I'm gonna fucking.
And I've heard the game is infinitely better. Like now, there's NPCs in it and shit. There's humans. There's quests. There's all this. There's events. I'm looking at this. I'm like, God damn! I kind of want to play this now. But then again, like I said, I'm scared to pick up a controller and buy the game. Not only waste money on something that I'm not gonna have fun playing, but end up hating overall and ruining the picture of the franchise.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't want to bring up Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, Fallout Tactics, because those are... I don't want to say Fallout 1 and 2 are poor traditional franchises that started it all before Bethesda took over a 3D Fallout. Fallout 1 and 2 are good for what they are. If you're in the mood for an isometric game with its quirks, Fallout 1 and 2 are your
The
guys.
only reason I don't have my opinions on it is because
I've never played it.
I've never played them. Yeah,
I've never played it. I've watched full playthroughs of both games. The only reason I don't play it is I don't have a way to play it. It's only on PC, and I don't have a PC at the moment. And when I didn't have a way to buy it. But from what I watched, like, the game's not for me. I'd be bored out of my mind playing it. It looks slow and shit like that. But like I know for a fact though, Tactics is an awful game. Fallout Tactics and Brotherhood of Steel, I've heard are the worst ones they've made. Like ever. Everybody, fans universally hate them apparently. Especially because they couldn't even get some of the fucking names right. Like the Pit Boy, the thing on your wrist, they called it a Vault Boy. Vault Boy is the guy with the thumbs up on the cover. They called that.
I mean, Vault Boy is what you see on the Pit Boy, but that's not what it's called.
Yeah, but they called the whole thing a Pit Boy. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm not going to get nitpicky over one thing. That's not why the entire thing's bad. The entire thing's bad because it's bad. I can't exactly say why. I don't remember what's bad about it. I just remember not liking what I saw. And I've seen gameplay for it. It's just so bad. But then
For what?
For Brotherhood, I watched Mitten Squad in his video of Brotherhood of Steel, and it looked so fucking dumb.
Mm.
But what I am excited for is the fan-made Fallout Miami. Oh, that I cannot wait for. It's gonna be the same engine as Fallout 4. It's a fan-made mod that I think got shut down, but I think it either got shut down or Bethesda took it up on their own.
Actually, you know,
Because I remember seeing things about it was Fallout New Orleans. Fallout New Orleans was going to be a New Vegas type title. It was going to be something in between 76 and their current project to entice you, like New Vegas was. Because one of the devs, not one of the devs, like a couple of I forgot what the fuck it was, tweeted out a picture of the local area books and shit like that for New Orleans. And that's kind of a big thing when a dev like that tweets that out when they don't tweet out personal shit.
Yeah,
because that's like, oh fuck, are we getting something for New Orleans? Then I heard Fallout Miami's coming out, and I've seen the trailers. It's like, oh, this looks fucking fun.
no, it's quite cool that there are actually some certain developers or just like people on their own who are developing their own Call of Duty game that is apparently going to have like some of the weapons from the more popular kinds of games, including maps and stuff. Yeah, it's going to be like its own PC game installment.
But here's the thing. Okay, so Miami's coming out. I haven't watched the trailer or looked on development recently. It's been a long time since I looked at it, maybe a year. But then Fallout New Frontier, which is a New Vegas mod, it might as well be a new whole game, is actually one of the worst fucking media pieces I've ever seen.
Mm.
It looks so cool because you already know me. I'm a big fan of the NCR and shit like that. Like anytime you play at New Vegas, you talk about playing New Vegas, I'll tell you to go side at the NCR or go pick up a Ranger outfit because it's awesome. But then I was like, a mod that follows the NCR on a new frontier of war and shit like that in the winter, and there's tanks and shit. Like, oh, this looks baller. So the mod is one of the most controversial developments ever with the developers and shit. Mm-hmm. Racist, pedophiles, this, that. You have sex with an underage girl. You have sex with a mutated animal. It's like, what the fuck? There's all this shit that's in the mod that's disgusting that just doesn't need to be there, and it's awful. The game runs like shit. But then I see Miami, and it's the polar opposite. But then I'm thinking, we all thought New Frontier was going to be amazing. And now I don't have as much hope for Miami. Although, if I do ever get Fallout 4 on PC, I'm going to play New Miami when it comes out. Just because it's something I've been waiting for. And it's Miami. I want to see the Scarface house. If they don't have a Scarface house in the game as a reference, I don't want to see it at all.
Apparently the house was in California or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but still, like, it took place in Miami.
Yeah.
But saying, like, they'd have... If you're making a game in Miami, you got to have some nod of Scarface. I mean, you don't have to, but
It'd be cool.
it's cool to see. It's Scarface. Sing on like I don't have to like put a whole ass reference, but at least a nod to it, like his house,
An M16.
M16 with the stock, the grenade launcher, and the barrel. Right, that's not a straight Scarface reference, but when it's like that, it's a Scarface reference with the intent of it. Like I just want to see. I love references and Easter eggs. Oh, who doesn't?
Yeah, it's quite fun seeing them every now and
Especially ones where you have to go out of your way to find them, and it's a big puzzle. Not a big puzzle, but like a journey you have to make.
Actually, I feel like in movies, the best kinds of references and like, just like, how do you put it, nods to like movies and stuff are just by like repeating certain like scenes,
Yeah.
or the ways shots are.
Yeah.
Like Doom does that with the Apocalypse Now, and it does that with 2001: A Space Odyssey, because that's one of Denis Villeneuve's favorite movies. You know, and
Yeah.
but you know, if there's if there's any kind of movie that I do love watching, it's Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson.
Yes, because you know he brings this kind of like childish and cartoonish kind of style into like the screen. It's something
Real quick, I think we're gonna have to wrap this up after the next few segments. Doug's getting restless.
Yeah, we're pushing.
We'll wrap it up in a few.
We're pushing 2 hours. Yeah,
I think that's what our goal is. At least 2 hours each episode.
but yeah,
If we
you
can't
know,
make that, at least an hour 30.
but yeah, you know, it just like brings this childish and cartoonish style that you wouldn't expect to see in a film, but he somehow just does it right.
Yeah. Do you know what my favorite? I'm gonna cut you short here. Do you know what my favorite like types of movies are? Not like genre, but my type of movie I watches.
fucking war movies?
No, not that. I said type, not genre.
Oh.
But then those are my favorite. My favorite ones are action comedies, like 80s action comedy. But type is a movie where it's of a genre that you don't like. Like I don't like musicals. I love Nightmare Before Christmas and Corpse Bride. Those are the types of I'm talking about. Like those for me. I love those two movies, but I hate musicals. I love movies where it's a genre that you hate, but you absolutely love the movie. I want a movie that can take something I can hate and make me love it.
Nah, I just straight up hate musicals. Even if the
No,
songs
I
are
still
good,
hate musicals, but I love Nightmare Before
No,
Christmas.
despite the songs being kind of good, I just don't like. I
You
don't like it when someone
you don't
sings
like
in
the
a.
happy singing bits.
I don't like it when someone sings in a fucking movie. I want to watch the movie, not a musical.
Yeah,
Save that
I'm
for the
fine with
fucking
music
stage.
in the movie, but not when everyone starts singing. With the only three exceptions I
Like,
have.
I'll be
Only
honest.
3 exceptions: Night Before Christmas, Corpse Bride, and the South Park movie. The South Park movie because the songs are funny.
Low key, I think the one. Okay, look. So look, I was gonna after listening to the score and a few other tracks of The Lion King
Fuck.
a few times, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give this movie another try because I've never actually paid attention to the movie. And when I did watch it, it was when I was a first grader, and my classroom just decided to say, "Hey, fuck it, kids, we're gonna watch The Lion King." And all I could really remember is Simba just being this narcissistic asshole who's just like, "Hey, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want because I'm gonna be king." It's like, okay,
Nice summary of the movie.
yeah, that's what I thought it was. And like, I watched the movie, and I love I love Mufasa a lot more than Simba. Mufasa just brings this fucking Kratos vibe,
Yeah.
especially his voice.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Fucking the voice of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I love how one day I was perusing the internet and seek of social interaction, and I get this ad that made me nearly fucking piss my pants watching. And it was an ad for James Earl Jones reading the Bible. It was just an audio. It was just an audio like book of James Earl Jones reading the Bible. I damn near pissed myself laughing. I don't know why. It wasn't that funny, but just the thought of Darth Vader teaching me about the Christ.
It would be funny if Neil deGrasse Tyson did that as well.
So I want to see him do it just because of the Logic skits in that album.
But right,
yes,
but right back to
I'm
that.
good.
But back to that, you know, it's just, you know, and then like the movie, like the only other thing that was really going to make me consider watching it is that seeing how Scar is one of the most evil villains in all of his cinema history.
Yeah.
Because he is literally almost an interpretation from the villain of Hamlet, which is written by Shakespeare and which is a very amazing story.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet, but for most people, that's all I hear. I hear that that Hamlet is just amazing, and that the villain in it too, and the villain is one of the big factors that inspired Scar. So I was like, okay, this actually looks good. And you know, when I watched the remake, I was pretty disappointed, but then at the same time, I don't think I paid that much attention to it, so I will definitely rewatch it as well. But for the most part, The Lion King was pretty good, you know? The one thing I do remember was the fucking baboon. That was the only thing I really liked about it at that time.
I don't think I like truly remember is the scene with the hyenas confronting Simba the first time, and then the fucking song between Pumbaa and
Actually,
whatever his name is.
I think Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah, the fucking
Meerkat.
yeah, their song, the first one. Fucking I can't remember the name of the song anymore.
But yeah, you know,
That song is like that song. Only bits of the movie I really remember.
the hyenas were one thing that I really I remember about the movie a lot, especially when my fucking siblings and my mom just tell me that I'm too much like them and I laugh too much like them.
The hyenas, yeah.
Yes, because then there's like I remember that one thing. It was like there's that one lion, Mufasa. Ooh, every time you say that name, it makes me shudder. Do it again, Mufasa. Ooh, Mufasa, Mufasa.
Mufasa. Woo. Hold on. Oh, I fucking love that dude on Twitter.
But yeah, it's just funny. But like,
Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed to see the fucking hyenas. As soon as I heard they were being played by one of them was being played by Eric Andre.
That
I
was like kind of like, what the fuck?
no, it was like, holy shit, this is gonna be funny or this is gonna
And
be
it
very
wasn't
good.
funny.
And it wasn't. It was just like they were busy
It was
playing.
just it was Eric Andre.
They were
reading
busy.
a script.
They were busy playing coronavirus / social distancing. It's like, dude, you're in my personal bubble. Like, what the fuck,
Like
man?
I thought it would be funny hearing Eric Andre as a hyena being Eric Andre, but it was Eric Andre reading a predetermined script.
Yeah, now I'm only excited for Eric Andre being in the new Jackass
Yo,
movie.
I'm gonna. Oh, I can't wait to see that.
I'm
not
fucking
the
watch
biggest fan of Jackass, but I can't wait to watch that one.
I actually I've never seen a Jackass movie.
I've seen
except,
2 of them, and
except
I never
for
really
Bad
liked
Grandpa, and holy
Yeah,
shit,
I've
that was
seen-
fucking funny.
I remember. Didn't we watch that together?
No,
it was
we
me and
didn't.
Mark that watched it. I watched it with Mark around 2 in the morning. It was me, KK, and
What we
Mark.
did watch at 2 in the morning was fucking Mallrats.
yeah,
Now that was
that's a good movie. Right
another story. Oh,
there. that's a good movie right there. And Dogma. I don't even think we've seen Dogma together. I don't know
We
if
did.
We did, yeah.
it was
Well,
here too.
Yeah, but it was right here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, we put it on, and then we got distracted halfway through it, and then we ended up sitting back down and watching the rest of it.
Yeah.
That's a good movie. Mallrats is a good movie. Clark's is a good movie. But Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is alright, I guess. It's not their worst, but it's the decline of Jay and Silent Bob. They're just not really funny anymore.
Like,
What's funny is, do you remember how in that scene of when they're in Hollywood that they go to the Scream set?
yeah.
So on Scream 3, they show that scene
Yeah.
of Jay and Silent Bob in the background too, like right in front of the camera waving. It's like, oh, you motherfuckers. That's also another reason why Scream 3 was such a shit movie.
No, actually, Scream 3 was just genuinely bad for a lot of things. But one of the things that I
that's
hated the
that's
most,
another reason.
one of the things that I hated the most was that one thing that could just replicate people's voice.
That was so done perfectly replicating.
And then Scream 4 was a bit more of like a victory lap. And then there's a new Scream that doesn't look like it's
I was
good.
never. I'm not saying I don't like Scream, but I was never the biggest Scream fan. Like I
For-
watched them, and they're like, all right,
It stood out
it's
to
pretty
me.
good.
Just
It
because-
reignited the slasher genre, which is pretty cool.
It stood out to me a lot because it's like these people aren't dumb. They know what they're doing.
What's really cool is it was self-aware and it reignited the slasher genre for the 90s,
Yeah.
which is cool as fuck. What genre can you say besides like Dune and stuff like that can reignite a dead genre?
What do you
Not many. I'm not saying Dune. Like I'm saying Dune is. I think Dune can reignite. Not. I don't know. Whatever genre it is, it can reignite
mean?
that.
It's a science.
There you
It's a
go.
science fiction.
movie. It can reignite the science fiction.
I mean, science fiction. It's been alright for the most part.
Yeah, but
You know-
like, it reignite the. I've never seen someone like so like big support for a movie like Dune.
Well, I mean,
I've never seen that, but like
besides that, it's because Denis was like a fan of the book since he was a kid. He read it when he was like 14.
yeah, but I was saying though, like Scream reignited the slasher genre because it was good. They were self-aware and it was different. Like the hell, they're even mentioning the classics: Halloween, Nightmare Before Christmas. I think they mentioned Halloween, Nightmare Before Christmas, and then Friday the 13th. And it was genuinely good. Still, I like I said, I'm not a giant Scream fan, but I'm not gonna say the movie's bad. I liked it. But then you get shit like Scream 3 that makes me not even want to watch any of the movies again. But then I haven't seen Scream 4 actually. I've never seen Scream 4.
Scream 4 was alright. It was just a bit of like.
But I'm excited to watch Scream 5 because it looks. Not only does Ghostface look fucking awesome again, his mask looks good, and his robes. Oh god, the robes and the knife look great, and he looks badass. But like he looks like fucking Kylo Ren. Not gonna lie. You can't tell me you don't look like fucking Kylo Ren.
But
a
with
different
baggy
mask.
sleeves.
He wears baggy sleeves in The Force Awakens. So he'd take his mask and put the ghost face mask on. He's fucking Kylo Ren,
For the most part,
but
yeah.
not a little bitch boy. But I'm excited. The voice sounds great. I love his voice, especially when he says like Cindy, Cindy, it's an honor. That sounds so good.
You know what other voice of Ghostface I like?
What?
The one that's like, what's that?
Scary movie.
Just kidding. Yeah, but yeah, I know.
What's that? Hey, you Hey, get on. Get on the phone. What's that?
But right, yeah. I think that's gonna be it for now. We're already pushing. We're 20 seconds to 2 hours.
Yeah.
This is probably the longest
One
thing
last
I've ever.
remark about it. Like, I'm probably gonna walk into Scream 5 not knowing jack shit about the other movies because I honestly don't remember 2. I don't remember much of 3 besides not liking it. I didn't even see 4. And I'm probably going to have to rewatch 1 again because I actually like that. I'm planning to. But I'm excited for Scream 5. Even the trailer looked good despite that stupid phone lock shit.
Yeah.
This trailer looked good. I'm excited. That's all I got to say about Scream.
About to end this. About to finish that food.
Yeah, that shit's been sitting on this table for 2 hours.
Whoops.
Didn't even touch that shit.
About to edit this shit. Hopefully have it out
Yeah,
this motherfucking week. Hell no, I'm not editing it tonight. I
do a GTA heist after this.
but then like I'm just too lazy to do it tonight. But all right, it's been myself. It's been the homie. We'll see you for the next episode, which is hopefully next week and not delayed like this.
Yeah. Like I said, the only reason it was delayed is because I was busy.
But right. Until next time.
Oh, that was a good one.
Oh shit, my mouse is dead. No, it's not dead. It's not turned off. Whoops.
Don't be like a streamer and say something racist.